and go. Welcome into a Tuesday night's evening blend. I am your host, Pop Blender, and your other host, Mr. Matthew Matson, with me. Sorry, I just jacked that all up, but what am I going to do? Can't win them all, right? It's because I'm holding something up, and it's like throwing me off my game. But yes, show is already in progress. As you can see, we're both making do with what we've got. So I got a great story to tell about Ninja Force Zartan and a whole just messed up situation. But in the meantime, let's go full screen for you because they all know full screen for Zartan. What you got going on here, Matthew?
Well, Savage Crucible did a special drop for the DFW toy show, and they're doing blind box kimono dragons, and there's 4 of them. There was one person at the convention that bought 4 and got all 4, which was amazing. There's one person that bought 8 and got 7 of these guys. Okay,
beautiful.
So this is the most common one. So he's a 60% drop. These 2 are 20%, and then the other one is a 2%. And as far as I know, there were only 2 from DFW confirmed that got the special one. This one I actually traded for because I was sitting around chatting up the guys at the booth, and this girl comes over and she buys one, and I was like, hey, what are you looking for? And she says she wanted a white one, and I said, do you have a blue one? Would you trade it? And she says maybe, and she goes away. She comes back and slides it open, and she had this blue one. And so I handed her my extra white one that I had, which a buddy of mine helped me get because I helped him get 3 of these for his collection. And I don't know what they are because they're blind box. So those are cool.
That is cool.
So Rachel, not Rachel, Carlos Salinas, found these for me. And I want to compare it here. So this is the Light and Sound His Tank. This is probably the most rarest His Tank that's out there, because this was such a limited run back in 2019 or something. You probably can't hear that, but so it lights up.
Can you hear it?
but it lights up and makes some sounds and stuff. This is the one that Emily contacted me about because I put this in one of my action figure shots. And nice. That was the year of the His Tank HasLab. And she's like, how do I get one of those? And I go, hey, you're better off getting the Jada one, which is this one here.
Grogu!
Yep. Grogu! And so this is the Hot Wheels one. This is the Jada. Well, this is the big Jada one.
Beautiful.
And then there's the micro one that Jada did too.
You mean micro machines?
Yeah, kind of. They're about the same size. But man, I had such a blast. This was Rad Knobs.
I'll put you back up there. I ain't scared.
This is Rad Knobs little handout. So he does these little handouts every year. And this is the second convention that he's done that at. So he put a number 2 there, and then he put the date and everything on there, and something new that he's trying. And he's like, I'm going to make these things, but I'm going to have it so that you can light it up yourself.
Beautiful.
Right?
Beautiful.
And so you'll see that a little bit later in some of my pictures. But I had such a blast, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to get into it. If you guys can't tell, this will be a bit of a toy-centric stream today, and I hope that's okay. I know we do have some movie news, early reactions for Masters of the Universe are in, and so I do want to get to some
interesting box office stuff.
Interesting. Okay, not to jump into it now, but I did want to give a little hint, so to speak. But the tracking for Scary Movie 6 versus the tracking for Motu,
Yeah, that's
they are
interesting.
quite a bit apart.
Yeah.
And so I've heard those numbers. We can look them up, but yeah, it's interesting considering both movies and who they're going after and all that stuff. So you feel free to bring up whatever in the HE double hockey sticks you want to bring up on the screen by all means, and I'll be glad to put you up on full screen at any time because no one really wants to see this face. The hat maybe, the face not so much. But yeah, so here we are Tuesday night once again, and Matthew got back from the DFW GI Joe and action figure toy show, and so we're gonna get his take on it. We're gonna get some photos and some pictures and stuff like that, and go through that, which will be fun, and then we're gonna I'm gonna dip into some Spider-Man Noir. I did finish Spider-Man Noir, and I'll give you guys my take on it. I know you have also watched Spider-Man Noir. I don't know
Yep.
if you got a chance to finish it,
Yep.
considering your
We sure did.
weekend.
We finished it last
Awesome.
night.
Okay, great. So we'll both have our take on that, and I think we're both gonna land in the same spot. Maybe after some early stuff, maybe not. We'll see. We might have a
We
different
shall
opinion about
see.
it. And then obviously, the big news with JoJo June is that there have been some reveals and some big news. Some big news that some people have either known about, talked about, already, mentioned, but it is pretty big news for 2026. And so, yeah, so all of that leading up, and then obviously with the DFW show, and then culminating, I guess, at the end of the month with Joe Fest in Augusta, Georgia, here at the end of the month. So, yeah, so we're going to get into it, but definitely want to say hello to a few folks. And I don't know, Matthew, I don't know if you're cool with having the chat on the screen scrolling up, if you like that, if you don't like that. Where everybody can see it, instead of having to highlight everything, you and I can just kind of maybe comment as it's scrolling. I don't know if that's something, that gets on people's nerves or whatever, but it is a style choice, I guess. So, sometimes
We'll
trying
see.
to talk and have the chat, highlight the chat sometimes it's
Well,
a little difficult occasionally.
occasionally.
But, we'll do what we can. Anyway, let's say hello to the lovely and talented 3-star draw, who recently had a little late night
Woo.
stream on
Yeah.
Friday night. What's going on, man?
Sorry I
Cypher
missed that. I was
6'3".
up till 2
Well,
a.m. hanging out with a bunch of guys.
a little busy, right? A little busy. Cypher 6'3", what is going on, man? Crusty Old Crow present and accounted for. Happy Yojo June, everybody. Sorry the HasLab talk finished before it started. We're going to get into that a little bit and get you guys' takes on that as well. 3-star says you look a lot like Clint Black in the thumbnail. I let me tell you guys, the thumbnail, that's a one pass. That's a one pass, baby. No refinement.
I liked it. My wife said, that doesn't look anything like you. And I go, what are you talking about?
I thought it actually didn't come out too bad.
I thought it was all right.
kind of to tighten it up, but it's like, hey man, it's a YouTube thumbnail. People know what we do. Maybe grab a couple extra people, but I thought it was fun, and I thought, hey, you know what? Let's put you on there. Let's put old Nick Cage portraying one Spider-Man Noir, and let's roll with it.
Flip.
Right? Yep. Shane, same time toys. What's going on? Crushing it over there. And Graf is in the house. Rainbow lizards. Everybody loved the rainbow lizards, the Komodo dragons. As
You see what order I put them
cool.
into? I put them in red, white, and blue.
I saw that. 250, baby. 250. Eric Thurman is in the house as well. What's up, Eric? Clint Jorgensen, Savage Crucible guys, loved me at Motuniverse. That's what I'm. Still can't pronounce it.
Motuniverse. You got it. That's it.
Right.
Giraffe. No, my hair's longer than ever, dude. I still haven't gotten a haircut in 4 months.
Dude, that's awesome. Why not? And especially if you have it on the crown. If you don't have it on the crown,
I got a full head of hair.
Growing it long is wacky. If you don't have it on the crown,
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks
Yeah.
weird. If you do have a full head of hair, then if I did, shit. At this point in my life, I might say go for it. Woody Triple Deuce, what's going on, man? Let's see. Hope I don't miss anything. As like Wolfgrim Rage Blade. What's up, Wolfgrim? Checkpoint Bravo, the one and only Turk Murphy's Toy Solutions. And let's see. Graf says, hey, I saw Motu last night. Hoping the slime pit arrives from BBTS soon. Let's see.
Right.
Stanley's in the house. Bricks and minifig saga. Yeah, I almost wanted to cover that, but it's a little out of my depth at this point because I just have not had an opportunity to really research it other than the scamming, I guess,
Yeah,
that's
I mean that's all it
going
really
on.
is
Yeah,
it's a chain, and it looks like there's been a
right.
lot of fraud going on with them. So
Evidently, and
and apparently it's a female-owned business, and people are going after her for all kinds of stuff now. So
oh shit. Okay. Well, look, we do our fair share of talking shit, but at the same time, there's sometimes where it's not really necessary, right?
hey, Scotty, you got a pick coming up too.
Let's see here. Graf says Punk with Toys was wrong about the HasLab. I don't know. We shall see. People putting feathers in their cap left and right, aren't they? And it's all fun and games, folks. It's all fun and games. War Chest is in the house as well, and so yeah, man. Hopefully that's everybody so far. And then Eric, don't ask me. I get to see en France, s'il vous plaît. In France, you will play. Is that what that is? Is that yo play the yogurt? I don't know. What is that?
Anyway,
Matthew shakes his head in severe disappointment. I'm a stickler for grammar and punctuation and things of that nature. When it comes to foreign languages, forget about it. That's the only
forget
foreign
about
language I
it.
know is that accent. Forget about it. Okay, so Matthew, what would you like to get into first? DFW? Would you like to jump into the Yojo June news that I have pulled up? It's your call. You do have some pictures to share, which I absolutely love. Triple C's in the house. What's up, Crimson Cobra Commander? How you doing,
What's
man?
up?
In French, please.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
yeah, you tell me, man. If you want to jump right into it, I will allow you to take over and share some picks and get into it.
Let's do some DFW while we're warming everybody up
Let's
because
get it on, baby. So
that
you take it.
this was the 3 3/4 exclusive figure from DFW this year. They also had a 12-inch. This was Lieutenant Zed. There you go.
Nice.
Nice custom figure. He's got swivels at the wrists. He actually has his right hand is a trigger finger, so he can put his finger in those trigger holes for these little tiny guns. But other than that, regular O-ring articulation, pretty good deal. I think Matt LaCroix had a little bit of something to do with it. And then I'm gonna share this screen real quick, and
Share away, brother.
and then we will I'll just kind of fly through some of these. I took a lot of pictures.
Yeah, and look, that's how it is. Everybody knows how it goes when you go to these toy shows, right? But it's your first person perspective. You are my streaming partner. I want to give you the opportunity to share your experience and talk about who you talk to and all that stuff. So you guys, sit back. Like I said, I went ahead and put the comments on the screen. And that way, if anybody's watching on TV and doesn't have the opportunity to type or whatever, you guys can kind of see what's going on there. And so let's roll with it, man. Fire away, buddy.
So I gotta preface this with saying this is one of two like Joe centric conventions. If you want a GI Joe thing that pays homage to every aspect of GI Joe, it's this one and Codename Iowa. They're the only ones that support all the 12-inch guys, 4-inch, 3 3/4, and 6-inch. They bring all the creators from all those lines in, the voice actors, everything. It really is solely GI Joe focused, but there's other stuff that happens there too, obviously. Again, this is a random dioramas piece that I did a photo with real quick to kind of headline things. This was my first pick of the day, so I always bring some action figures to take pictures with. And once I pick up my package, I pull out the T-shirt and maybe some other things and throw them down there and say, "All right, we're kicking off the show." So this was in the lobby where I ran into these two guys. This is Rob and Renato from Savage Crucible. Awesome dudes, super chill. So happy that Savage Crucible came. Got to hang out a little bit with them this weekend. Obviously, they were busy running the show, but we had some good conversations about skeletons and about some other things. So that was pretty cool. Quentin J. Bedwell, an incredible artist who makes a lot of graphic design stuff. Brian Hodges, Michael Charles Hill, the writer of a lot of Transformers and GI Joe episodes from back in the day, and many other
Nice.
things. He told me a story about how he was the original author for the first version of the American translation of Sailor Moon, because he was the only one that knew
Oh
how
shit.
to translate dialogue with the voice, with the way they move their mouths, so that the dialogue lines up.
Wow.
And they did it for a Canadian company under the Canadian rules. They said, "Hey, Michael, we're paying you for this, but we can't put your name on it." And he's like, "That's fine. I don't want to be associated with Sailor Moon anyway," because he did Transformers and GI Joe and other things, right?
I could see where those two things would maybe clash a bit. I mean, you
Yeah,
probably have broad tastes at that point, I guess, in those days.
yeah. And then we talked about film. Got on a whole conversation about film, and then we went down Kurosawa, and I almost said it at the exact moment he did when we said, "What's your favorite Kurosawa film?" And it's Stray Dogs, which is an amazing film. If you haven't seen it, it's worth checking out. The cinematography, the storytelling, the symbolism is incredible. It's a noir type of detective film. It's not his typical samurai thing that everybody knows him from, but he was really cool. And he wrote a script for this show for the voice actors to read live in a panel for another episode of the Sunbow G.I. Joe. So Flint, Lady J, Zartan, and Zorana were the Sunbow voice actors who were there voicing their characters. And then we had some other fans like Mikey from Mikey Kukovic and Gray Childs and Dan Klingensmith and some other people were voicing other characters. So it was pretty fun. Toy Visuals. He's awesome. Cool dude. This was the photography panel. Those are my photography buddies. Cap Wolf,
Some
Simon
of your collab
Toast.
guys.
Oh yeah. The guy in the middle of the Star Wars shirt, I've never collabed with him, but he is amazing. And he's like almost a Mezco exclusive photographer. Like
Nice.
he wins all kinds
Oh
of
wow.
contests from them and stuff. I mean, those guys are amazing. It's just why they're putting on the photography thing, not me. That's Frank. He is one of the original designers of the Avalanche and other things. He came from a military design perspective, and so he kind of really brought that. He's an engineer, always working on gadgets. He's always got some kind of crazy invention with him that he's working on, or that he invented, or somebody else did that he's replicating. Loves to talk, that guy. He's really nice guy. Guy next to me is Brian Sauer. Guy next to him is Josh Egbean, and the other guy, his name is Chad. Brian Sauer runs Codename Iowa. He's an artist, also graphic designer, designs all those cool graphics that the Full Force uses.
Okay.
Josh Egbean is the After Action Report. He did the GI Joe trivia guide, along with the comic book things and the some other command files things where he goes through all the character listings. His Cobra command files is up on Kickstarter right now, so that will be volume 3, because he did 2 for the Joes and 1 for the Cobra. This will be the first one for the Cobra. I think he's going to fit most of them in there, though. And then Chad's helping him out. It's Chad. Hung out with that dude and Just Jeff a lot over the weekend.
I've seen that guy before.
Super chill dude. I mean, obviously we hung out, talked about all kinds of stuff, but he had his stuff to do. I had mine, but we were there. Savage Crucible's booth. Still got to worry about those polar bears and those dragon heads back there. I don't. Rob's real button up about that stuff. But great booth, incredible show for them.
Hey, I've seen those guys before.
Those guys, yeah, Mikey and John Kukovic. Always a blast to hang out with them and have some drinks and laugh or whatever. What's funny is that we stayed up till 2 a.m. and we were cracking everybody up. All of us were. We all cracked each other up. And Gray later on was like thinking that me and Mikey had been drinking with everybody else, but Mikey and I were the only ones not drinking at all. And because Gray was worried about me driving home, and I'm like, dude, I'm good. I haven't had anything. I'm just tired. But his customs were amazing, and he was super pissed that one of the reveals for San Diego was Cadet Deming, because he just he just showed off his blue female Crimson Guard trooper who's Cadet Deming that he just made. And now Hasbro's like, here it is. Yep. It's like they're in my shop. I know it. They're watching me make this stuff.
Well, timing is everything. Hey, wait a minute. Who in the heck is that? Who's that son of a bitch?
You might know that guy.
War chest right there.
War chest full of toys. So he wasn't going to come, and then he decided to come, and he had a blast. Even though he had to go to Houston on Saturday morning.
Oh wow. Okay.
For a job, he stayed all night. And he was up till past 2 a.m. with us in the lobby, talking with Chad and everybody else. And then he was up in the morning walking around the show again before he had to take off. But he said this year was totally different than last year, and he had such a blast this year.
I can't wait to talk to him, because I talked to him extensively about his experience last year.
Yeah.
And at another convention. And so I can't wait to talk to him about his experience this year.
Yeah, so he went to both of them last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he's going to both of them this year too. So
that's going to be awesome.
He'll have a pretty good perspective on things.
Yeah, no doubt.
That guy, his name is Ace. He's an old 12-inch collector. He's been around in the Collectors Club community for forever. That's World Made of Cardboard, John, if you know him. He's in a lot of chats. But he makes incredible cardboard transforming things, and you can get them off his website, and you can print them up and cut them out yourself and put them together.
Oh, nice.
And
okay.
they're really sweet little transformers and things. That's Rachel and Not Rachel Salinas right there for you. Had to get a picture of them.
Yes. Love it. In the flesh, ladies and gentlemen. That's awesome, dude. See, this is what I love about the conventions. This is what I love about. Look, love the toys, okay, but I love the people, and it's about seeing people. That's what I enjoy.
And Carlos he's been very kind enough to help me out with some of these things that are difficult to find or whatever, that he finds more regularly than I do, because his neck of the woods gets more of that than I do.
Carlos says she's real.
She's real. Yeah, she does exist.
That's awesome too. What's up, Carlos?
So I really appreciate him helping me out. So he's a good friend.
That's awesome, man.
Here is another guy who's local here with me, Ed209. He has a YouTube channel where he does store walkthroughs, and he buys a lot of stuff. A big Valaverse and Gridiron guy, and he collects all kinds of stuff. But he comes to the toy show, the monthly toy show, all the time. So he's a good dude. That's the Titan. I didn't see him last year, but I saw him the year before. But he's a pretty cool guy. You see him mostly in Chads and through POA chats and stuff.
Okay.
That's Dave Hernandez. He's Houston guy. He's from Texas, but he drives up for the show. This is the guy who made Retro Freaks and Retro Freaks 2. So if you've seen those movies, it's a horror movie set in the local toy stores here in DFW area. About a Ouija board that summons a demon from hell that comes around and kills all the toy tubers.
Hey, wow, that's a pretty wild idea.
So
I'm sure there's somebody out there that's really behind that.
on Tubi is Retro Freaks 2, and Just Jeff is in that one also. And if I had been able to go out on a Tuesday night, if I'd known about it a little bit earlier, I would have probably been in it too.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Cool. Yeah, he's a film videographer guy. You might know these guys too. The guy with the orange beard is Random Diorama.
I think I know that guy.
I think you know that guy. Yeah. So, I give him a ride from time to time, to and from the show, because he doesn't live too far from there, but he doesn't have a car.
Awesome.
He stayed at the hotel this year and sold some wares. Unfortunately, he put his stuff in my car, and then we went back for the Valaverse panel, and one of his pieces melted in the car.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that kind of sucked.
Kinda.
Yeah, kind of sucked. Most everything was good. It was just one piece that got messed up. Some of the other pieces are still good enough for him to sell and stuff, and he can throw them up there. The other one is Emerald Knight. So if John, Emerald Knight Photography. Cool. That is Random Diorama. Yep, sure is.
Rock and roll.
That was so.
I don't know these toy tubers. I'm not familiar with these guys.
So the three, the red and the two whites, those are the ones that I pulled initially. The other one is the original colored version. There's Chad and Dan Klingensmith. That's Harley Davidson shirt is Mark Pennington. He's an artist. He did a lot of the stuff with Skeletron. He also has
Absolutely.
been doing some comic books. The other guy is Flint, aka Bill Ratner.
Yeah, man.
Um, I
That's
had
great.
incredible conversations with him about health and fitness and all kinds of stuff and family. And he wrote a book, and that's the first thing. That's how I ice broke the conversation. And I said, "Parenting for a Digital Age," and he goes, "How do you know about that?" And so that's the book he wrote about raising your kids in a digital age, and we talked about that whole thing, and then all kinds
I
of stuff. So
voiced my favorite character.
yeah, I mean,
Love it.
and he was
Love
so
it.
awesome and
Hell
generous
yeah.
with his time. He loved being there.
That's awesome.
That guy right there, his name is Ron Wagner. He's an artist, and he got to sign my Nth Man #1 next to Larry Hama.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
and I was going to pay him for a signature, and he said, no, signatures are free. I mean, that's fine. So I bought a print from him too of a Hit and Run with his
Usually,
signature
isn't
on it.
that kind of how if you have them personalize it, right?
Well, yeah. Well, so
Then usually they'll
everybody's
do
different.
them right. But a lot of times I've seen that where it's like if it's personalized, then they have no problem doing it. If they just put their name on it, it's kind of like hey,
Well,
and
that's
totally
Larry's.
understandable.
That's
That's
Larry's.
Larry.
That's
Yep.
Larry's.
Right.
Ron said, no, I'll sign this for
That's
free. I
cool,
mean,
man.
it's just one book or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was part of a lot of those discussions that we talked about beforehand about inside the comic book world and the crazy
Yeah.
stuff that happened to him, amongst other things. But we had some great conversations over the weekend. So he went on Facebook and sent a friend request to me. So I was like, oh, okay, sure. Hi.
Cool. Yeah.
But he's awesome.
That's cool.
This was the panel where the voice actors. So the I don't know which way it looks like on the screen, but the lady on my far right when I'm looking at it is so yeah, she's that's Zarana next to Zartan. Let me see, next to Lady J, next to Flint, next to Gray's son, who was the narrator for this one.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. Oh, wait a minute. The guy in the yellow
Lady
is
Virgo, how you doing? Girl?
is Andrew Crayman. I'm not sure who that is. Then Mikey Kukovic, Gray Childs, and Dan Klingensmith. They were all the voices for that. And I got my hands on one of the scripts that they actually read from.
So they did. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
I didn't realize this at the time, but Michael was selling those out there. But I had Michael sign it, and I couldn't afford everybody's signature on it. If I had been a part of it, obviously they would have signed it for free. But
yeah, sure.
I just thought that it was a really cool thing. That episode was really good too, and got audience participation. So there was a lot of crowd noise things, and we all just jumped right into roll.
Okay.
As soon as the narrator said it, everybody in the audience started participating exactly as described, and it was pretty awesome. Some of the guys up front actually had protester signs that they held up and shook up and down to get us like we're protesting something or whatever. But the story was great. It was recorded, so it may come up on YouTube at some point.
I'm sure at some point you'd probably be able to find it.
And there's the author right there. And I took that picture because I saw him reacting to the crowd's response. And he says, this is the best reaction I've gotten out of any of the scripts that I've done.
Nice. Trying to sneak one.
There's Nowhere Man Child, Jeff Butler. He comes down, hangs out. So if you see Nowhere Man Child around, that's what he's doing. I think we might know who that guy is.
I have no idea who might this fella be. He just looks like any ordinary guy.
He wrote some issues of G.I. Joe and Wolverine and
2 or
Batman.
3. Yeah.
He wrote more episodes of Wolverine than any other author ever. He's written over 228 issues of G.I. Joe. More than that. That's just the mainline story.
Yeah.
But amongst others. But
Larry's always good to see. Larry, I mean, especially at this point now, right?
Yeah.
Having him still out, making the rounds and doing everything. I did take a picture of him with him in a giant beaver costume, which he looked at me like, why? In his mind, I'm thinking he's probably going, and why do I still do this? Like, what is wrong with you, grown ass man? It was fun, but yeah, I love getting a picture of Larry, man, and he's nice,
Yeah,
but Larry can also give you his opinion. He'll give you his opinion. He don't give a
no
shit. You
problem.
know,
No
it's
problem with
funny
that
as hell.
whatsoever.
I don't have a
Yeah.
problem with that either. Joe Fan 84, how you doing,
What's
man?
up, man?
Yeah, super
Uh,
funny. Does he remember you? he it's one of those questions. It's like, yeah,
so
right. You see so many people, right? There's
he
no
sees so
way.
many people,
Golly.
but there's always something in the back of his mind, especially this time, that where he really remembered me, especially when we're sitting around the circle talking about stuff.
Oh, for sure. If you get that opportunity to just kind of hang like you did, well, as we'll
But
see here.
we had conversations a long time ago about the Soviet Union and our
Oh,
experiences
okay,
with that stuff
okay.
and that kind of stuff. There's Flint and Lady J together. I had to get this
That's
one because I have
that's
a Michael
awesome.
Bell. I have a Michael Bell and BJ Ward picture. So I've got
Awesome.
Duke and Scarlet, and then Flint and Lady J. So I had to do that. And it's funny because I believe the shirt that I'm wearing is from the convention where I took that picture with them.
Okay.
um, there's something I picked up. Naraka. There's Joe Hunter 73 came by
Okay.
and
Hey,
said
got his own
hi.
shirt too. I love
Yep.
it. Got his
Yep.
own shirt. Yeah. Oh
Absolutely.
shit. I gotta order stickers. I need to write this shit
Stickers.
down, by the way.
There's Lieutenant Zed. There's this other guy got sold out, but he's going to get a reissue. This is some of the diorama contests.
That looks fantastic.
Yeah. So this is obviously 12-inch. A lot of the dioramas are
Wow.
12-inch. Some of the guys are starting to switch for next year. But
It's somebody's birthday today.
somebody's birthday. I have no idea what that is.
Simone. Happy birthday, Simone.
I'm like, what the heck is that? I didn't know what that was. Jesus. I'm not even logged into that.
It's a
account.
little
Anyway,
late to pop that up too. It's like,
right? Here's a classified scaled building. Somebody built out of just wood shelving. This one's really impressive because this is the back side of it.
Yeah, that looks
And this is
super
a
cool. From
12-inch diorama, World War II,
Wow. Okay.
French chateau. And there's the front of it.
Oh man, and it reminds me, Crow's been doing some really impressive stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
with his dioramas, and this kind of gives me that impression. I don't see a ton of them, right? Like I don't see a lot of them. So when I do, they stick out to me, right?
Yeah.
And Krusty Old Crow is obviously been doing some really really cool stuff. But yeah, that looks amazing. Right
Something
there.
that Ed mentioned is that something that he really misses that Joe Fest doesn't even bother looking at dioramas or action figures or customs or anything to do with the actual GI Joe community. If it's not a big corporate store selling toys, they really don't care much about it.
Okay.
There's some custom action figures there. That
Love
Castle
the Gray
Skull. Yeah,
that is amazing.
Right.
Wow.
This
Holy
thing was
shit.
This isn't truly impressive. If you go on my Facebook or whatever, you can see a little more detail. But this thing rotated around, so I stayed in one place and just took a bunch of pictures of it as it's rotating around because it just kept moving. But look at that, all the ladders and all the figures.
What a great idea. What a great idea to have it rotating. And you see often like people bring dios and stuff out, but like that's an idea that I think a lot of people probably don't think about, even though they think about it when they do reviews, they think about when they display figures or whatever, but especially like something like this that would like that's really, really great idea.
Yeah. And so, you've got Alpine hanging off the side of the mountain there. You've got,
yeah, that's great.
I mean, this is pretty impressive. Then you have your Undersea Lab one.
Yes. Love it.
There's incredible. I didn't take a picture of it, unfortunately, but there's incredible light up detail inside the cockpit and everything. Okay. There's Top Fun Toys there for all your firearms needs. That talk about the most detailed, most accurate, and all the different paint schemes he's got. He's got some new Starlight scope ones for the Vietnam era wave that he's got coming out. So incredible stuff from Top Fun Toys. This was us hanging out. So the guy to my left is Brian Sauer. The guy with the hat is Gray Childs. Guy next to him is Ron Wagner. On my right side is Chad, and then Larry Hama, and then some of the other guys from the show. Awesome. And then there's Brian Sauer in the background doing a Sasquatch pose, apparently. So this was the middle of the night. This was after most everybody else has gone to bed, and we're sitting around. If you look real closely, there's some vodka and some scotch and some beers all over the place.
No, hey, nobody
and
drinks at these things. Nobody indulges in that kind of stuff.
and
Come on.
everybody's telling
What are you
stories
talking about?
from their own experiences and things like that, and relating to one another. And Larry tells us about this character that he knew, who was one of the most incredible artists that he'd ever worked with, and he was the inspiration for John Wraith in the Wolverine comics. So when they did the movie, Larry was so excited because when he saw him on screen, he says, "That's him. That's exactly what he looks like."
That's so cool, dude.
And this was a guy that he knew who was in Vietnam, had an incident happen, got court-martialed and acquitted, got out. While he was waiting all of his trial stuff, he started drawing and sketching, and you know, he got back to the United States, and he's like, "Well, I guess I can draw stuff." So he went to Marvel and said, "Hey, I've got this portfolio." They took a look at it and said, "Yeah, you're not really for us. Why don't you go talk to this guy, Neil Adams?" So he went down the road and talked to Neil, and Neil was flabbergasted when he saw his stuff. He like laid it out in front of everybody, and everybody was in shock and awe at how good this guy was. No training, no talent. Started drawing about
Yeah.
2 months before that, right?
Right.
Just had this incredible idea, and Neil Adams said that this guy was better than him.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
I attended Larry's panel last year at Joe Fest, and that was fantastic. Like, it's really really good, worth it because he doesn't go over the same stuff. They'll have
No,
different topics. They might have different moderators,
yeah,
and so you get different things, right? Different flavor. And it's not just the same thing. Like here's the origin story or here's the whatever, right? And I encourage
right.
anybody if you're at the convention where he's doing a panel or a sit down, like it's worth sitting down and at this point in time, like he needs a little bit of help sometimes, maybe remembering or kind of bringing
Yep.
along, right? You
So
see that, but it's still really good.
if he's got somebody like Kirk Bazigian or Dan Klingon
Uh
Smith or somebody like that moderating with him, then it works out great because
I bet.
you can kind of keep him going. He told so many stories at that night that it was really cool, and then we got to share some stories with him.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
and
Yeah.
no, it was just a blast the whole night. But this was Saturday night, so it was a little bit earlier than Friday night. Friday night was a late
Okay.
night.
Nice.
Those are the hisses. The
Oh
one
yeah.
up front is Jada. Next one is Hot Wheels. Then Light and Sound, and then the other Jada, the large one with Grogu. Doug Hartman, another incredible designer, Hasbro designer. There's Gray. Um, this
Nice
is
hat.
the Hasbro designers panel. They were talking about the concepts that they worked on and stuff like that. The guy in the hat that's on the panel there, with the cowboy hat there, Kurt Groen, that dude is amazing to talk to. He's got an Asian wife, and so he actually speaks some Chinese.
Oh wow.
And so when he goes over to China for some of the manufacturing stuff, he never
He
lets them know that he understands what they're saying
yeah.
sometimes.
And
But
that oh wow.
there are also like 4 different dialects. So when you say something in one dialect, it could mean something totally different in another dialect. And he had some really funny stories about translation
I'm
issues.
sure. I have no doubt about it. That's awesome.
But all those guys, they're incredible to hang out with. The guy on the far that's on the edge with his arms crossed there, had some good conversations with Dave Kunitz. That's his name. He
Okay.
is also really awesome dude. And then Frank's on the other side of Dan. I think Dan's in the middle there. And Guy Cassidy, the guy who's standing up talking right there, also really awesome. He gets so jazzed for this stuff. It's funny because his whole life nobody's cared about what he's done, but he comes here and everybody cares. And so he gets excited about it again,
Right.
and he gets to talk about, oh, this is what I'm taking to this show. I'm going to this show in Norway, and they've never even seen this stuff in Norway before, or it never came to their shores. They saw it later on the internet and everything.
Okay.
But they invited him to come out, and he designed the X30 amongst other things. But the X30 is the one that we always talk about. He drew one for me last year because I told him a story about my dad, and so he got and sketched out the whole X30 for me because my dad wrote some articles on the X20 29, which is a real aircraft. But anyway, Then I don't know if we want to talk about Valiverse stuff or not, but
I mean, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I just just going through some of these slides and everything. Just want to make sure everybody's digging the slides and whatnot. I don't
I'll
want
just
anybody falling
yep.
out per se, but at the same time, man, like obviously people want to see. I don't know how much people have seen from the show. I'm sure people have kind of looked up some of the stuff from the show, but at the same time, I want to get your first account. So man,
Yeah.
you show what you want to show. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like
they
we'll move it. We'll move
all
it.
right.
We're
I'll
good.
just go kind of
Yeah,
quick
you're
through it.
good. You're
They
good, man.
did
You do what you do.
they live streamed the panel, but there's more at the end when he actually brings the stuff out. But Arctic Commandos are coming. Steel Brigade Hammer, so new Steel Brigade with the rocket launcher blast effects.
I guess my question, really quickly, like in the
Yep.
chat, if you guys have the ability, you guys tell us, and this doesn't have any effect on what you're showing. I just want to know who all is interested in what Bobby Vala is doing, and
Well,
especially what they've seen from these reveals from DFW, and if anybody is really
I
digging what he's got going on right now.
I will tell you, by the time I get to the midpoint or the end of this, there's going to be a lot of people very interested in what he's doing.
Okay.
And some people might be mad that he's making stuff that people actually want, but everybody said he was going to be out of business 2 years ago, right?
Sure. Because I imagine there's a lot of people that are interested. So show away,
I
dude. I got no problem with that at all.
So they're doing a larger buck Steel Brigade Hammer. So he's going to come with a new rocket launcher RPG and some miniguns. So this is going to be a heavy duty one. So people are psyched about that. A little blurry there, but this is another one. He's got head pack. He's got a head pack coming out. This was kind of exciting. I've been waiting for this one. A lot of people, some people were poo-pooing it, saying, "Oh, I can 3D print it, whatever." Bullshit. You're not going to get the detail like this, the riptide or the durability. The stuff that this thing comes with, and I'll show you some better pictures later.
Looks
but
super cool. Looks super cool.
It has this water effect. It's got swappable bench seats, which are cases you can put stuff in. You can fit 5 regular size figures in the boat. So 3 up front, 2 in the back. You can fit 4 of the larger buck figures for Valiverse. These are all based on Valiverse figures.
Okay.
Figures in there. This thing is awesome and one of the best. And there's a swappable onboard motor with an engine. I mean, all the detail that he put into this, all the lines, the hooks, the paint that's on here is really, really impressive when you see it up front. There's those cases that are the seats that you can put stuff in.
Right.
And like I said,
And,
there you go.
water effect. Water effect is actually something that you see occasionally, but considering that boats, water vehicles are something we don't see a ton of, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I appreciate something like this with water effects for photography and whatnot,
It's
for whatever reason.
And he also mentioned the boat has a float time of at least an hour with fully loaded with figures, so you can play with it in the bath all you want, right?
Nice.
And this water effect here is not what it actually looks like because it actually has some more paint on it and stuff. It looks really cool.
Okay.
Even though that would be kind of cool too, but there's some more pictures of it. That's kind of what it looks like. And
Nice.
$64.99.
Okay.
So
Is that unreasonable? Like, does anybody in the chat think that $64.99 is unreasonable for the Riptide? Like, is that what do you think? I mean, are you?
if you look at the detail, if you look at what's put into it, if you look at all the effects and the paint and everything that it does, I think it's a great price.
Do you think did he say that it'll be getting upgrades as Crow asks here?
He did mention a couple of things that are potential add-ons or upgrades for it. But honestly, this base model, if you want to call it that, looks really phenomenal, and I'm really kind of happy about the price, and everybody at the show is pretty happy about the price too.
Okay.
Because a lot of people were expecting it to be a little bit more. They're happy that it wasn't. Okay, yeah, it doesn't come with a figure. Great. Okay. And It's a quality piece.
Well, then it would be a $27 or 37, 30 something dollar boat, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever it roughly, right?
right.
If you're talking about if it came with a figure, then you're talking about the boat alone, and I don't think that works considering. So yeah, I could see 65, and Cypher 63 says that an MK19 on there.
I am not familiar enough with weapons to
I
tell
am
you,
not also
so
as
I'm
well.
sorry. Um, uh, so he's doing Titans Toy Expo, so there's going to be some exclusive stuff there.
Okay.
This is when Ocular Serpent, not
Speaking of
Snake Eyes, is
speaking of
going to be released.
Titans,
Yeah, yeah.
right? I think I know a little bit about that.
So this is the figure that they're dropping, and if you do the VIP pre-order for the exclusive figure for Titans, you get the variant. You automatically get the variant red and black version. And then if you look real close, he's got. I don't have any good pictures of it, but there's a snake mask on his mask. So it comes out. It's got like a snake mouth with teeth on it and stuff.
Gotcha.
And so Ocular Serpent, not Snake Eyes, is here now. So that was the joke. And
Nice.
he leaned hard into it too.
I'm sure.
But because of the variant, it will be boxed like this, so you won't be able to see what it is till you open it. But if you do the Titans Toy Expo VIP ticket and get the Valaverse figure, or both the Valaverse and Savage Crucible, you will automatically get the red version. This is a flag with a stand on it, and it's a pirate flag. And guess what? There will be flags made for World War II on this exact thing.
Nice. So, love it. That's awesome.
He went hard on some different stand ideas, so that was really interesting. Okay. We're going to see some of those here in a minute. $10. Stand, flag, poles, packaging. Yeah, so with the rocks and all that. There is going to be, so with the black figures, they have spoils instead of action points. So the spoils figure is going to be Blackbeard with his Conan grease paint, right? Camouflage, whatever. He said he always loved that thing from Commando when Arnold paints himself up like that or whatever. Sure. So he's like, I did that for Blackbeard, and so there's going to be your Blackbeard variant, and then the Man of War. Now, this is the diver. Okay, I'm excited about one particular thing from this diver. Now, the diver looks awesome. Don't get me wrong. There's one thing in particular that he comes with that I've never seen done with an action figure before, and I don't think we'll see it again. But this is what the diver looks like, geared up and without gear.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Pretty awesome looking frogman, right?
Wow.
Yeah. See that little thing over there on the right?
Uh-huh.
What does that look like? What does that look like?
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because it looks like it like goes in like as a peg or something. Like
it's got
upside down. Is that like a oh, tell me that's soft goods.
No, it's not soft goods.
Okay, what is it? Is it something that okay, is that what is that? Oh shit. That's awesome. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I thought for a second it was something that you could pull down over the figure, like net or something like that. But that's really neat. Okay, wow.
So you can pop your figure off and put his torso right on there, and it looks so amazing. Them coming out of the water.
Wow. Okay. What a cool. I guess in my mind, of course, and this is the difference between somebody who does toys and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, right? The talent.
Yeah.
It's just not even like it's not even in my. I wouldn't even think about something like that. That's really cool.
It's brilliant, and I'm so excited about it. It was like, I mean, the things that you can do with that piece alone.
Yeah, of course.
Another little jab that he did at the Hydro Viper is that some of the alternate hands that he has are webbed hands. So he's got 2 sets of webbed hands for swimming. Because the Hasbro Hydro Viper only has one in one position, and it's not really swappable with anything else. But anyway,
No,
Those
I
are all
got you.
the silencer magazine parts that come off and everything.
Right.
Um, this is another piece. So this is like something to put your armor on, so you can have it in the background.
So an
Right?
armor stand, basically.
It's a
Yeah,
display piece, right?
that's cool.
It's
Yeah,
got the leg
super
pieces, all
cool.
that stuff.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, just
So
$12.
lots. So $12 for the armor stand.
For two of them, right?
For two armor stands, $12.
Yep.
Really?
And so this was designed by Duarte Studios, and then they're putting it into production.
That's a pretty great price point, dude. Too. I
And
mean,
you get
as
two
Crow
of them,
says here, yeah, that's
and
pretty
you
sweet.
throw it in the background, and
Right?
they look
Yeah, that's
awesome.
great. Mm-hmm.
And then so now he's doing. We're getting down the list here. So this is Weapons Pack Oscar Mayer Wiener. You know, we got all the jokes on there.
Sure.
So this is based off of some
Shocker?
reissuing.
Was that the shocker? Did I see the shocker hand on there?
I saw a unicorn. I saw. Whoop. Yep, you sure did.
Wow.
So he's reissuing some of his favorite weapons or most requested weapons. And then this is the other one. And then, okay, so this one right here, Weapons Backpack Quebec with a blockbuster video tag.
Blockbuster, yeah, it's funny.
Can you guess what kind of weapons are going to be in here?
I have to. I'm so stupid.
Say it. Come on.
Wait.
I bet you're not wrong. Say it.
Hang on. I can't. Wait. Weapons Pack Quebec. Is it hockey equipment? What the hell
No.
is this?
Okay.
What are you talking about?
So you know it's alphanumeric, right? So he's on to Q, right? So
okay.
He's gone through the alphabet. He's down to Q, right? So he just picked Quebec. Okay. It's a blockbuster video box. What's inside the box?
Wait, I'm lost. I'm so lost right now.
What did we do when we went to Blockbuster Video on Friday night?
Well, I would assume you would have a VHS tape inside, right?
Well, so we would go rent VHS tapes.
Rent a VHS, right.
What kind of movies would we rent?
Well, of course, it's like, you know, your typical action movies. You know,
and so this was the 90s.
Action Jackson.
Sure, so this was the 90s. So what kind of movies were we getting? 70s and 80s movies, right? Mostly action
pretty
movies,
much,
right?
Yeah.
So
Commando
this is the 1980s stuff. Weapons Pack.
Oh, okay. So I see where you're going, because I'm in my mind. I'm thinking like, okay, is this a person? Is this I know it's a weapons pack, but in my mind I'm thinking, okay, is this centered around like a single individual from Canada? You know?
No. No. These are famous weapons from 1980s action movies.
Well, of course, there's a couple specifically in there, I think, that a lot of people would be.
I think a lot of people want a lot of these.
Yeah.
And then there's Romeo, Weapons Pack Romeo. So he's got some other modified weapons. One of these, the Barrett with the drum, really cool weapons, the new crossbow. And then here's this part here. I don't know anything about weapons, but this one apparently disassembles like a real weapon. Okay. And it's got some of those parts on there that people are super excited about. So
it's a fun idea, like it's a fun idea. It took me a long time to get around to understanding, but at the same time, it's like, that's a cool little touch, right? It's kind of fun, fun with the packaging and everything. So that's cool.
So this is Weapons Pack Sierra, which is the new RPG that he's got. So different blast effect than the one that he has for November, because I've got November here, and that's just a bazooka with some pieces, and
okay,
he's got those awesome blast effects. I had to pick up November. I think I got one of the last ones in existence, and this one was, I think, even reissued. But yeah, there's the case that it comes in.
Nice.
And then he's doing this. What is this? So he's doing. He's put these pieces on his weapons.
Straps.
So he's doing straps.
That's cool.
He's doing strap packs.
Yeah,
so that you can hook up all your weapons. And then he told us this story. Maybe you guys heard about this little boy who jumped in front of the dog who was attacking his sister and defended his sister from the dog and got all scarred up and everything. Well, that's this kid here. That's the kid now with his dog that he's got. They went to him and decided to make him an action figure. So they aged him up 30 years, and his medic is based off of this kid. So he's got the little scar on the side of his face. They took his face and they aged it up 30 years. This medic looks amazing. And it comes with everything that you would want from a combat medic.
So I did definitely catch a bit of Chad's live stream talking about it with the latex gloves, right? Or the gloves with just something that is, I guess, an interesting thing that really most people don't think about in that respect. But it is a cool touch as far as that goes with somebody in medical profession, medical field, especially.
The first two teasers that he made for that were the latex gloved hands and the one with the rebreather, with the oxygen mask, that it comes attached with that. Then he's got all these things here, and these all flip open like they actually do. And they flip open and they have the medical pouches, so to speak, with all the gear in there. So he can do his status. And then Toy Unity Expo is the first time that you're going to be able to get this figure. And this is what he comes with. So this stretcher is actually, I forget the name of it. Military people know what it is because this is what they actually use in the field. They don't use those things that we saw in MASH.
Crow would probably have an idea.
I bet you Crow knows for sure. But look at all this stuff. You've got a defibrillator. You've got the breath mask hands. He actually has all the gloved hands specifically for cutting open scalpel hands. I mean, you look at those hands. He's got very specific hands for medical professionals in there. Yeah. Plus the stand, the helmet with the visor. And they put a little piece of tinfoil in there for the tinfoil blanket. It's actually soft goods, but it's the silver one.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
It's not called a gurney. Gurney's something totally different.
I heard it the other night. I can't remember it for the life of me.
But all the bags and paddles and cords and all the stuff that comes with this guy. This will be the ultimate medic figure. If you want a medic figure, this is the one.
I mean, I have to admit that is pretty sweet. That's a hell of a loadout. A lot of accessories.
So you see the backpack opens up. It has a defibrillator in there.
Right.
I mean, but Bobby's thinking of all the cool play features that we always wanted. This is the first helmet that he's got with a chin strap, so that'll be interesting. See how that works for him.
Okay. All right.
And then there it is there, and it fits all of the Valaverse bucks. So his standard buck and his oversized buck.
Right. I heard the conversation, I guess, basically saying, hey, look, in the field, you're either, you're fireman carrying in somebody, right? You're literally doing everything but breaking out a stretcher. You're doing everything but breaking out like a, I understand the different mindsets about going about it, right? Going about it and what you're after, as far as what you're trying to make and everything. So I get the two different mindsets, but I do appreciate either the realism, the attention to detail, the hey, this is actually what goes on, in the field, so to speak. And I think there's a couple different mindsets between Hasbro and between what Bobby's trying to do. I'm not gonna excuse, I'm not gonna say whatever personally, but I will say I understand where both companies are maybe coming from with that. I think Bobby's bringing it from more of a really more maybe realistic standpoint when some of those things where Hasbro's maybe not looking at that, so to speak, if that makes sense.
So this is the point where Bobby said what we all know and we all knew was happening. And it just got to the point where he finally had to address it.
Okay.
So he said that he was making 3 3/4 O-rings and he was going to make them for, $12 to $15 is what he was shooting for. Okay. And that he wasn't going to make them if he couldn't get them to that price point. Well, they're on hold because he can't get them to that price point.
Yeah.
So the problem comes down to the same thing that all of the other guys who are making O-rings have already found out, which Bobby is learning, is you just can't. Now you can bring that cost down to whatever, but it always costs something one way or the other.
Yeah.
Right. And so he wasn't willing to compromise. Other than that, he would have to probably make 30,000 units of one of the figures, of each of the figures. And that's not feasible when you have 5,000 people who are going to buy them, or,
Right.
Whatever the MLQ is, it didn't meet his cost expense. So the more you buy, the cheaper it becomes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
And so that number just doesn't work out. Now, as far as the Locust goes, I think with the Locust, they're getting into engineering problems with manufacturing, because there were so many finite little tiny pieces on there and hinges and things like that to get the thing to articulate the way he wanted it to, and not break. I think he was running into some problems with that. And so between costing and all that stuff, the Locust is on hold again also. But we kind of knew that because Locust was supposed to be out a year ago, because that was 3 years ago. He showed the prototypes. He brought the prototype to DFW. But he loved the design that he did on the Swarm figure that he's working on this right now. So he's trying to take that Swarm figure that he designed, give him a new flight pack, and is planning on releasing that in the future, undetermined date.
Okay.
Something that he's still working on. Extras. Everybody wants your street humans. I mean, extras, right? The not street humans. No alien heads here, folks. So these are coming out, and every one of his extras is going to be $20. And then he's got special accessory packs. They're going to be $20 for pop and swap parts
coming out later this year.
Yep. They should be here by the end of the year. Hopefully, right. I'm thinking.
Nice.
December 2026. There you go. Yep. And so these are the three main ones. Some action scenes that they had him in. This is Chris. Comes with the tank top, the sledgehammer, and the hands in the stand. Now, you notice that stand has a little thing on the end, right? It looks like it connects to something.
Yeah, well, I assume that
they all have that to make a sidewalk. And there's James, comes with the baseball bat and the hoodie. And Marco comes with the T-shirt and machete.
Word.
And now you can swap them with any of the Valverse figures, any top, bottoms, whatever. You can swap them however you like. These are all the different stand pieces that will make an entire block.
Okay.
So you can put that around a building or whatever you want with it if you get enough of those stand pieces, corner pieces, and sewer pipe or sewer caps and all that stuff. So it's real interesting. So here is the top half, where you have the different colors for the T-shirt, tank top, and hoodie, and swappable parts there. There's the bottom halves, different colored jeans and shoes. And you see that this one comes with one of the end cap pieces.
So that's cool. You could swap, and kind of do mix and match and whatever. It's a great idea. Yeah. Definitely. That's super cool.
And there's your head pack
too. That's cool. Yeah.
Got your couple masked heads there.
Right.
And then some just variants on different options there for different background characters. There's so many things you can do with these. And this is what Shartimus wanted to do, and he tried to put a spin on it, and he just didn't have his ducks in a row quite right to get it off the ground, I don't think. But Bobby already has a line. He's already established. He's already got these things. He's already got a fan base. It's a lot easier for him to do this. And he knows that, people want extras. And here we go to the Toy Unity exclusive extras. Articulated Ninja. There you go. If you want your Articulated Ninja action figure, there he is. Are you frozen? Am I by myself? Is it still going on? Are we moving? Okay, I'm still here. Pop is frozen. So there's Ninja. And then this is important here. The Guppy Gang. Okay, so who do you think the Guppy Gang is? If you know, you know. If you realize that Bobby Valla pissed off all the Mythic Legions guys by talking about the overpriced Guppy that they came out with, that koi figure fish figure he got in trouble for. I don't know, whatever. They kicked him out of Legion's Con. He's not coming back to Legion's Con. So that's where he's at. Sorry, I'm just trying to situate things a little bit here while Pop's gone. So Guppy Gang and codenamed Honcho. So you can get your Bobby Vala action figure at Toy Unity as well. And he has both options with the t-shirt and the Valaverse hoodie version. But yeah, so there's that. And thought that was fun. Hopefully he's not having to reset everything. I really would love to see his reaction to the next part. But I guess we're here. All right. So that's Honcho, Mike Honcho, Splinter Cell, Blacklist. Okay, so this is Bobby's figure that's coming out at the end of the year. It's got glow-in-the-dark, light reactive parts on him. So that's going to be awesome to do photography with. I can't wait to see what that looks like. Yeah, glow-in-the-dark. So his nods will glow in the dark there. He's got some other pieces on him. This is his loadout. So he's got a separate head with the nods down. And then nods separate if you wanted to put him on that way too. He also has separate knife hands. So he will have separate hands that hold that curved blade in it. He's done that before, I think, but a different type of set of hands. So he's messing around with these hands to make them specific. And those stands stack on each other. So
I hope you were able to keep going.
Yeah, I kept going.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
I'll just run back real quick. Do you know the articulated ninjas where I stopped, right?
Yeah.
So he's got the articulated ninja figure. Do you know the Guppy Gang thing?
I do not.
So this is a Mythic Legions thing. So Bobby on a live stream saw this koi fish character exclusive that they had, and he bashed on it for being so expensive, and he called it a guppy because it's a koi fish. And so the Mythic Legions people just like railed him, and they kicked him out, and they won't ever let him back to Legions Con, I think. Whatever, I don't know. But so he decided to put the Guppy Gang on his own action figure.
Wolfgrim, have a good night. And yes, watch Andor if you can. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Andor is awesome.
Hell yeah, it is.
So the Honcho figure has the Guppy t-shirt or the Valaverse t-shirt. Then we got into Splinter Cell. This guy looks amazing. Glow in the dark nods. I was just talking about the stands and how the stands actually are stackable. They fit on top of each other. That's a separate head with the nods on it, and then the separate nods. And then the knife hand. So he's got hands. He's got a specific hand that has the knife in it already. So it's molded that way. So you don't have to worry about the accessory getting lost inside the grip or anything like that. Different sidearms. See, there's the stackable stand. So if you get multiples, you can do a whole little scene there. And then he's also doing the variant color, the desert camo color. So same figure, desert camo. So he's got two versions of the character, the Splinter Cell character already. So this is the other one. It's exactly the same, just different deco, right? So I think you're going to have people that are definitely going to want those. And then we have Action Force 1944. So a lot of people are super excited about this.
Yeah, little World War II figures. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Series 1, 4 figures, 2 basics, 2 gear packs, 1 weapons pack, 2 battlefield artillery sets. Okay, so one of them is like a vehicle, and one of them is like a playset. So these are the things that are already coming for Series 1. Okay, and so we have the Army Ranger, and these are all going to be named characters, but this is the loadout for the Army Ranger. Different stand there, obviously.
Yeah.
Your paratrooper figure looks awesome. I love this one. Actually, I like them all, but nice. Your German infantry. Okay, so instead of putting giving him a cap, they gave him a separate head. because again, Bobby doesn't like the way that berets and hats and things like that look on figures when it's not sculpted on.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I like the World War II stuff. Big fan. Always have
see,
been since I was a kid. So I was a
and
big Sergeant Rock
yeah,
comic fan too.
and then it's not on the paratrooper, but the Army Ranger has two specialized hands. Can you see what they are? I'm not sure if you can see that.
See, yeah. I mean, I kind of can. I see the kind of cupped.
Yeah, but can you see what's in the hands? I'll show you here
I
in a
see. Is
minute.
that a Zippo?
It is a Zippo. What's in the other one?
Nice. Is that a smoke?
Yep, it's a
Because
lit
I love
cigarette.
that too.
It's a,
Yeah.
it's a,
See,
it's a
that's
lit
great.
cigarette and a Zippo.
That's great. Yeah, Gareth, exactly. Those old Medal of Honor games, man. Oh my gosh, dude. I
So,
love playing those.
for a photography purpose, you're going to have a German soldier lighting
Oh,
up a
sure.
cigarette with a guy coming from behind him and,
I mean, well, you
taking him
name it,
out.
right? You name
Yeah.
it. There's a
Yeah.
lot of options with that. And otherwise, you've got to try to get your custom
Yep.
hands and stuff for things like that. You don't see those manufactured hardly at all. It's rare, right?
And these are the basic troopers, one German, one US. He already has plans for British and Russian is the next
Nice.
one, and then uh, Japanese is the one after that. Um, I forgot what the other. I thought he mentioned one more, but anyway. Then you have gear packs, D-Day gear pack, so different set of gear. Then you have airborne gear pack, and he's looking at making that shovel attached to the backpack and stuff. There's a couple different versions that they're looking at for things and working on. And I mean, here's weapons pack able. So he's starting out with a whole new alphabet because it's a different line.
Right. Crow, this is a great idea, by the way, for a photograph. Yeah, no doubt about
Yeah.
it. Sniper scope,
Yep.
dude lighting up. Yeah, what a great image that would be.
And then, I mean, look at these weapons. I mean, these are right there. These are all the World War II weapons that we could want, right?
Yeah,
But
the submachine gun being my favorite.
I mean, the grease guns are amazing, right?
They
The
are
Tommy
cool, but
guns. Yeah.
the Thompson has
Yep.
always been one of my just man,
Well, but I
tugging at
mean,
my heartstring.
so the grease gun is always the one that I associate with like Cobra Troopers, and I know it was
Sure.
somebody else in GI Joe who actually had one, but on the cartoons it was that one. And then you have the Luger. I love that one.
Looks good, man. Like it.
And then German flak.
Nice.
So you got a flak gun, and he showed a bunch of different angles of it that he's working on. No prototype here at the convention, but how it attaches to the base. And guess what? If it's a towable, you know what? Bobby kind of teased half tracks last time, so I think he's working on a German half track, which would be amazing to tow something like this. Then the mortar set. So here's your mortar set. Look at those sandbags. This looks awesome. Gridiron made one, and then Hasbro made one. And honestly, I still like using the Gridiron mortar set for my short fuse. And then this mortar set looks awesome with new blast effects that they're working on. And then this was the fourth figure, because we only showed 3 of the mainline figures. So this is the 4th figure for the World War II Wave 1 figures.
It's a Rocketeer.
Rocketeer, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. And he's doing 2 different color variants. So he got approval from them to do this one and then an OD green military one. So the helmet will be different. It'll all be different. It'll look like World War II military. This is the rocket pack that he comes with. Some blast effects.
Yeah, it looks cool, man. Totally.
And apparently he's going to come with the old rocket as well. So the head sculpt is based off of the person who created the Rocketeer. And you see that there's 2 things there. One of them is a helmet. The other is an alternate head. So the one closest to him is the alternate head. The one with the straps hanging down is the helmet. So you can hold it in his hand while he doesn't have the helmet on.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, again, another amazing figure. and you can't really quite tell. So these were the rocket designs. The ones with the wings are not there. The ones without the wings are the ones that will be used. And that rocket was designed, that backpack was designed for Bobby Valla by the same person who designed the one for the movie.
Nice.
So that person came on board
awesome.
and designed that. And then here's some pictures from the booth after the show. Bobby had his Rocketeer helmet out there. There's the boat, man. Look at that water effect. And it's translucent, so you can shine some light from underneath it. It's got some dark water in there.
That's neat.
I mean, you can look at that detail in that boat right there. No, it just looks good. There's the that I didn't mention. He's reissuing the Night Force Steel Brigade, but completely redoing it because there was such a problem with the BBTS version. QC issues and BBTS and how they dealt with it and stuff. And I have 4 of them. Mine are great, but this is another version of that. So there's your new Steel Brigade Heavy. Those are the stands, right? The ones to put your body armor stuff on with the skull mask. And that head, that skull head, does fit on all of Valaverse figures. Nice. So you can pop that off and swap it on there. So Valaverse is the only action figure line. Well, I shouldn't say that. The only non-Hasbro action figure line that has a consistent joint system with all of his figures. So they're all compatible. Whereas Hasbro changes the ball peg in the head for every single figure. Like Outback and Tiger Force Outback don't have the same ball pegs on their heads. You can't swap their heads. There's the flag stand that didn't come out real well. There's the black with his and he comes, that's what his chest looks like underneath with the 2 heads and everything with the new paint. There's this sled thing, the medic. I mean, he just looks so good. Here's your extras. I got a little close up on each one of those.
Nice. Looks like Bobby is got a lot of stuff coming out, man.
Look at that ridiculous face, though. I mean, what kind of smile is that on his face? It's kind of weird. He's got some chaw in there or something. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, it's a little weird. But there's the Valaverse version. I swap out those neck pegs.
I mean, it obviously people are pretty excited overall, and
there's the mortar
showing off quite a bit of stuff, man. I mean,
there's the scissor hands, the medic scissor hands.
Oh, yeah.
There's the blueprints. So at the end of the show, he said, "Come on up here, grab some blueprints. We're handing these out for free."
Nice.
This was designed by, like I said, the movie guy, but they look straight up like blueprints. That's what they're trying to steal from Kurt. There's that water effect piece. Looks awesome. The diver. You were on camera. Good for me.
Right.
But see, there he's got the 2 medic specific hands, the scissors and the mask, the breather. Right. And there's my pickups. Got got a bunch of free stuff from people. It was a great show. Let's see. There's some of my other things in the script I showed you signed. And then I also got this. So this is something that I've been looking for a long, long ass time. It's a Leonard vehicle, and it's a space capsule. It's based off of the Apollo capsule. That's why it's called the Saturn, because it was on the Saturn V. But, Leonard had to play its games.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But at the same time, Leonard makes really good stuff. And I got to talking. So the showrunner runs this booth that sold this, but one of the people at his booth was the person who designed this, one of the designers. And so I was chatting with him as he was a protege of Guy Cassaday, another guy that I was talking about from back in Hasbro, because they both worked at a toy company together before they went on to do their other things. But he interned for Guy, and he was kind of shy or embarrassed that Guy was going to be there because he idolizes him even still today. But it was cool to talk to him. And after spending so much time talking with him, he said, "Hey, email me after the show. When I get home, I'll send you the original drawings. So he's as soon as he gets home, he's going to send me those drawings.
Nice.
For that.
Yeah.
And then next year is June 11th through the 13th. So it's still before Joe Fest, but it's only a couple weeks before that. And they changed hotels to the one just down the street because it has a better layout. But that is it for DFW. I had such a great time hanging out and chatting and spending so much time with all my friends, all the people that I met there, the creators and designers and writers for G.I. Joe. And there's no other place in the world that you could have that much access to those people, the voice actors and such. You don't get that kind of access at a show like Joe Fest because there's just too many people. There's just too many being pulled every which way. And it's true, DFW averages about over 1,000 people for the weekend, and Joe Fest is like 10,000 people. So it's a different demographic. It's a different people going through there. But Delta 17, Skeletron, Chicken Fried Toys, Valaverse, Savage Crucible, they all had good events because they knew what the show was and they brought inventory accordingly for the show. And I think they all did well. And despite people trying to start false rumors about stuff, there's always things going on. DFW is going to continue, and Bobby Val is going to be there, and Savage Crucible is going to have a presence there. It may be a little different next year because Rob had to experience it for himself, but it is a G.I. Joe show. That was Savage Crucible's most difficult thing to get through is this is truly a G.I. Joe show. There's only 2 of those left in existence, and that's Codename Iowa and this one. And Joe Fest has a lot of G.I. Joe stuff, but it is a big show that has all the toy companies come in, and G.I. Joe kind of gets relegated to the sidelines a little bit. But
firsthand, I'm not sure about that. But I will say that I'm sure they both have different flavors.
Yep.
Right. Different amounts of people. Their differences. I think that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like, I don't know that one is better than the other. I think that, in my opinion, I think it's good that you have different things. I think it would be boring if everything was just the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so that variation, right? And for people that are able to kind of travel to multiple, because I know people that go to like 6 or 7, right? Like, they have that ability to go. But for most people, they kind of have to pick and choose. If you're lucky, you might get to do 2 if one's in your hometown, for instance, right? That kind of thing. Like the Titan Toy Expo is here.
It's a great show
this year. And so
I found out some more about that show that I thought was interesting. That this weekend, this past weekend, IshCon also happened. And IshCon is also a very small show, but Ish and Rob from Savage Crucible started Titans Toy Expo.
Was Chad toxic and horrible this weekend, Matthew? Come on, spill the beans.
Well, according to some people, he was, and some people try to get him kicked out of the show or try to get some of the guests to cancel because Chad was a part of it. But Chad was ever the gracious host, as sponsor of the event.
Very nice.
I mean, Chad's just a dude. He's just a dude.
There's always going to be people who, don't like you for whatever reason that may be. And some people will try really, really hard because it hurts their feelings that much. And some people are adults and they can get past those things and actually just go enjoy themselves. So that's generally what most adults are able to do.
I will tell you this.
What's up, Chad?
I had several good conversations with Michael French.
Yeah.
But I also never introduced myself because if I introduced myself, I think our conversation would have been over because I don't know if he even remembers it. But apparently him and Tony, hate me or whatever. So that's whatever. But I still had good conversations with him, but I never introduced myself.
Yeah.
just for the fact that I didn't want
Which,
to have that separation of how he perceived me based off my name versus how
totally,
I am in
totally
person.
get it. Totally get it. I
and
understand.
and he is an engaging, personable person
That's great.
in reality. And that was pretty cool too. Um,
Yeah, look, and that's why I said, man, look, I would like to be able to make it down there just to experience the show myself. And for me, it's not about contrasting and comparing so much as just getting to experience it and see like, who all's there, right? Like the people that maybe I would miss somewhere else, maybe I get to catch at another show, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
just get to see it and everything. And so yeah, I mean, ultimately, again, at the end of the day, it's kind of like everybody's going to have their favorite, right? It's like anything. It's like bands, it's like artists, it's like football teams, it's like anything. You're the things that you find that you really enjoy, you're going to be your favorites, and then there's going to be people who either have never experienced it and they're just really upset that you really enjoy that. And then there's gonna be people who have that didn't have as good a time, or there's gonna be people that did, and they're like, you know what, actually, I really like that better than this one, and that's totally fine. That's why I said, for me, it's like I think being able to have all of those different things, different shows. That sometimes, man, there's creators that are at one and they're not at the other, and the only way you could see them is if you go to one,
Yep.
or whatever. And I
So
think it's great. It's just
what's
my personal opinion about it. I
what's
think I love it.
really interesting to me is Larry Hama, the voice actors, and several of the vendors that I have talked to that do both shows.
Uh huh.
Um, and some of them have made the choice to not go back to Joe Fest ever again because they were mistreated.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and this is vendors, this is guests, this is people that they brought in as guests who have said that. Larry Hama says that he likes the show so much better because he can interact with people, he feels more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's all this stuff that's not this high pressure, whatever, and then he gets relegated and ignored. Larry Hama gets ignored through most of the convention.
Well, that to me, that's weird. Now, some of that kind of behind the scenes stuff is somebody who's just going like, I
Well,
don't know
and
about that kind of stuff,
and I
right?
will
Like I
tell
don't,
you
but that's
that
weird
person that I threw up
for that
there,
in particular.
that the person that I threw up there, Gray Childs, and I kept talking about him.
Yeah.
He is basically the hospitality manager for Greg and the convention. What he
Okay.
does is that he takes all the guests and he makes sure that they have anything and everything that they could ever want in terms of
As
food.
you
He,
should.
he gets
As
a
you
he gets a
should.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Make sure they're fed. They always have water. Make sure that as soon as they're done with the show, that they have as much alcohol as they can possibly consume. Uh,
As you should.
whatever it takes to make the guests happy.
Yeah.
Gray is there providing it for it, and he
That's
drives them
awesome.
back and forth with his kids.
Yeah.
And without Gray, the backside of the show wouldn't be what it is, and the guests wouldn't have such a good time. And honestly, the guests wouldn't interact with the fans as much as they do if it weren't for Gray just hanging out.
Well, the thing of it is like you have to have liaisons. You have to have
Yep.
people who are there, and that's what they do. They have to
Right.
enjoy. They have to enjoy
Oh,
doing
they
it for
love it.
one, right? They have to enjoy that interaction. They have to enjoy that job, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously that shows, right? Depending on who it is, they've got to be able to play host, right? You've got
Right.
to be able to have that personality and make people feel comfortable. And you're right, get them whatever they need because they are your guests at the show. And that goes for a lot of things, right? Not just a toy convention. It goes for all kinds of stuff, right? But so that kind of critical role. Look, I don't know what those behind the scenes things look like at other conventions. I don't know what that
Right.
looks like at Joe. I don't know, right? I can't
I
speak
just
to
had
those things.
more than one of them say
Um,
that they were completely
yeah,
ignored at Joe Fest
I
or
mean, and I
like
hate to hear
not allowed
that.
to interact.
I do hate to hear that if that is in fact the case and if that's their experience. I think that sucks.
Yeah.
I know from a convention goer for it, I've had a great time, but I'm coming at it from a completely different angle, right?
Yeah.
And not everybody is coming from the same angle.
Sure.
For me, I've had a great time. If I went to DFW, I probably would have a great time if I went to DFW because I'd probably
I
run into people that I know. I'd probably get, talk to some of the creators and like you said, voice artists and everything. And so to me, it's like I probably feel like I would enjoy that experience. And if they were different, I think that would make it even better
Yep.
because it's like, okay, here. But obviously, I know that people have their feelings and opinions, and they're strong, and that's okay because I appreciate strong opinions about it, and it is what it is. There's always going to be that. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad you got
It's
a
a
ton of
blast.
photos. I'm really glad you showed off the Valiverse stuff because I think everybody really enjoyed that, and it's a lot to look forward to. And he's
Yeah.
bringing a lot of heat coming up, and that's great. And
Yep.
that's what needs competition. You need competition. You need that, right? And so it keeps people on their toes. And I hope that whomever it is keeps Hasbro, whomever that competition is, keeps them on their toes and keeps them
Absolutely.
creating and striving forward to make the best products they can. And that's the way I look at it,
And, and
right?
and honestly, Hasbro wouldn't have made some of the changes that they made if it wasn't for Bobby Val
Sure.
pushing them.
Now, Garaf, there is a really rude ass son of a bitch that walks around at Joe Fest in a beaver costume. He is an asshole. And if you encounter him, I would run as far away as you can.
Yeah.
Because he probably has a camera in his hand, too. That's the saddest part about that guy. So good, man. I love it. And I wanted you to give that account for sure and kind of, show off some stuff, man. And then, later on, I'll show some stuff off from Joe Fest later, our show after Joe
Yeah.
Fest when I go later
Awesome.
this month and show off some stuff. And it'll probably be much of the same. It'll be like, hey, I love this. I love this. This was great. Met this person, saw this person, from that aspect too. So, yeah,
Yeah.
man, I want to kind of give you the floor and let you roll through it. Let's jump into Spider-Man Noir really quickly.
Yep.
You and I both saw it. I will give my opinion first. You've been talking a little bit. Give your voice a rest for a second. Spider-Man Noir is on Amazon. All 8 episodes dropped the other day. It is Nicolas Cage doing his Nicolas Cage, but maybe not as extreme. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I enjoyed it. I actually did enjoy it. I thought that it was maybe going to lose the plot there for a minute. It actually really pulled me around. There was a couple episodes in the middle, somewhere around 3, 4, maybe somewhere in there, where I was kind of like, okay, where are we going? I appreciate the 30s aesthetic. I think Nick Cage is not only really funny, sometimes his voice and his slurring, the way he kind of approaches the role, might get a little old, possibly. I don't know. I see you kind of smiling. But for me, I actually enjoyed it. And I thought for the most part, they did a pretty good job of, of bringing the story back around and keeping it interesting. There's some minor gripes here or there with maybe some of the villain characters and kind of what exactly are we doing. I thought it was going to be a stretch for them to really bring it all together because some of the past stuff that happens from World War One, which is a part of the plot. But overall, hey man, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I actually enjoyed this show. I thought it was fun. Each episode's about 40 minutes long, a little over that, so it does take a little longer to get through. But I do think if you like Nick Cage, okay, if you like the Spider-Man noir character, watch it in black and white. I know you had some issues with that. I did not have many issues with the black and white. Couple characters, the femme fatale or the lounge singer, I thought should have been a blonde kind of classic. Okay, I will concede that. But overall, I personally would recommend you guys checking out Spider-Man Noir on Amazon. You probably have Amazon, so you can watch it. I think most of you guys out there will enjoy it. So, what about you?
I'm going to first say that it's worth a watch. If you like the genre, if you like the character, if you like Nick Cage, um, it's worth a watch. I think the acting is actually really good in it for most of the people.
Yeah,
Um,
Brendan
I
Gleeson brings it too.
when I get into the minutia, the nitpicks that I have on the show, it's going to sound like maybe I didn't like it that much. Um, I do have a lot of frustrations with this show. I think the vast majority of people are not going to even understand those things. So you guys will probably enjoy it more than I did. So I would recommend you go watch it.
Okay, look, this comment here by Garaf. Okay, look. Um, all right. Casting, yes. I thought the
So
casting, they definitely decide that they're going to kind of do the, um, we're going to pick an Asian, we're going to pick a Hispanic, we're going to pick a black guy, we're going to pick a this and that. I get that to an extent. There's one nitpick I have, okay? And they didn't beat you over the head with it, but there is some racial talk in the show. It's not overdone. Okay, there's a couple instances where you visually see some stuff, and there's a couple conversations that are had. And I was a little bit worried that it might take over one of the
no,
villains' arcs, but it actually did not. And I
no.
thought it was handled fine.
Yeah,
It worked. Okay.
I I have more of a problem with the introduction of the femme fatale.
Yeah.
Um, uh,
Okay.
for me, it was incredibly jarring to hear somebody screech out a song so terribly in the first scene that she's in. You know, she may look great, but she cannot sing. And it's clear she can't sing. She can't sing this type of song. Okay. And it drove me nuts that they would put somebody with her sticks and I would have
Usually
preferred
they
I would have
have
preferred more of a gaunt face on her. I didn't care about hair color, but
usually
more
they
of the
have a
gaunt face and somebody who can actually sing or at least auto tune it or dub over or
have
whatever.
someone sing it and her
Yes,
voice like lip sync it, right?
exactly.
But not
That would
her
have been
be the
so much
singer.
better
It was
because
a bit dreadful in some of the
uh,
songs. Okay, I to
it
use a
was
Simon Cowell
yeah.
term.
And what got even worse is when they shifted it to a modern song, and that just takes you out of it when it's not a period song anymore. They shift it to modern. Like a lot of people had difficulty with the opening. The opening was too much of a
Uh,
modern song.
yeah,
So
yeah. No, I can't argue with that. I didn't care for that, but I think overall, aesthetic wise, and I think what they did with the dialogue and the script for the most part worked for me. And look, is it supposed to be super believable like it's 1930s gangster? I
no,
don't know. They
I
did
get
get a
it.
little goofy with it. It does get a little goofy. It's not a just a penguin. Okay, it's not a penguin.
Right.
If that makes sense. Which was an amazing show. We all know that. It's not that, but I do think it works for what they tried to do. And it's, look, pun intended, you can't put Nick Cage in a cage. You got to let him just go. And they
You
let
do.
him go, and
And
he works for me.
he did a great job, especially when you understand the backstory and everything like
Yes.
that. Then all of his acting choices make a whole lot more sense. But the every time they shifted and threw in modern vernacular, it took me right out.
And there is
There's
that
a lot of that,
sometimes.
and
Yeah.
it's
Sure.
sprinkled through the show. And every time it
Right.
happened, it was jarring, and it just didn't feel right. And most of you guys probably wouldn't even notice, but for me, I like the show, but I still have a lot of issue with it. And it's one of
Okay.
those things that I'm like, I'm glad I watched it. It was entertaining. I'm
It
I'm
it, wa-
good.
it was fun. I mean,
And
look, am I going to
and
go
it would
back and
be
watch this again? Probably not.
well,
I
it would
mean,
be
it is
interesting
what
to
it is.
see if they decide to do a season two because there's enough popularity of opinion
Oh,
and
100%.
ratings for it that they should do a season two. But can they convince Nick to come back for it and do all this other stuff? I mean, he's no spring
And
chicken, but
no,
he
he's not, and he definitely shows his age. They do use some de-aging technology. It's not drastic and it's not
yeah
jarring, I will say, in some flashback scenes. It's not terrible. Right now, currently sitting at 8.1 out of 10 on
yeah
IMDb. Rotten
no
Tomatoes 91%. Prime Video 8.1. I mean, it's getting good ratings. I don't think there's a lot of. This is not the kind of show I don't think that would get review bombed in a positive way or in a negative way. I
no
think
I
the
don't think so
reviews
either.
probably are pretty
I agree.
on the point with what people think about this show. I think people are enjoying it.
I will
Eh,
say that if you are a noir fanatic and a black and white film connoisseur, you'll have a lot more problems with this film than most people.
so we know that he voiced the Into the Spider-Verse noir character.
Right.
Okay. And I appreciate them using him. Now, look, I'll be honest with you. I saw the part one. I have not seen part two. I don't know how much of it he is in that movie. In the second part, I enjoyed the first one. I didn't quite enjoy it so much that I had to rush out and watch the second part. Okay, just my opinion. So I don't know how he is in that movie, that animated movie. But I do like what he does
Yeah.
here, and I think it's fun, and it is goofy, and it is Nick Cage, and his spider powers are pretty cool. I like the way they portray it. I like the way that it comes across, and again, black and white works for me. I'm good with it. You know, I thought it was fine. I have not watched it in color. I have not gone back and watched it that way. I probably will not. And
So I
so season two would be fine in my opinion. I'd be okay with it.
yeah. So you can switch while watching the episode
Yeah,
between black and white and color.
yeah,
And there's an episode guide that somebody did who said you should really watch this one in color and this one in black and white, and this one in color and this one in black and white. Or the last two episodes, they say it doesn't matter. You can watch it whatever you prefer. And I kind of think it does. I think the black and white works a little bit better for the last two, but I was also more partial to the black and white.
yeah. And so Amazon Studios seems to be okay with making content as a chance to generate money. Says Graph. It's crazy to see a studio do that these days. It is now that somewhat leads me into, I guess, kind of the next thing really quickly is the Masters of the Universe.
Oh,
Early
hold on. Yeah,
reaction.
Krusty had a point there that I wanted
Well,
to get to.
I did kind of get into that with what he was saying,
Well,
with what you started there as far as
yeah.
try to do a different character. That's kind of what I was referencing
Well, but
with
they
his character in
they
the
made
Spider-Verse.
one reference, and it is rather ambiguous.
Yes, yes,
Because
you're
right
right.
at the beginning, he mentioned somebody once asked me what universe they were in, and I said
Right,
the only
right.
one I know. So this one has not experienced the multiverse in any fashion. So this is probably completely separate from Into the Spider-Verse, even though it's the same character. Still just a different universe version because this one
Yeah,
hasn't traveled the multiverse.
yeah. It's and you're right. Very beginning, it's voiceover, and he does mention that. I mean, it's literally like right in the beginning, right? And
Yep.
he it's as the show starts practically, from what
Yep.
I remember.
It's the
Um,
opening monologue. Yeah.
Right. So I did want to kind of bring this up as far as Masters of the Universe because there's been some early reactions. And speaking of Amazon, so far, okay, early reactions are in after the preview event. It's coming out obviously in just 3 days.
Nope.
So the reactions are a little all over. I watched Jeremy John's video today, his review of it. And it was positive with some issues. I think that's how most people are going to be with this film. From what I'm kind of gathering from most of these early reactions, okay, is that there's a little too much jokiness that doesn't land. And the best part of the movie is Jared Leto's Skeletor overall.
Yeah.
The nostalgia is there. If you're a fan of the property, you're gonna enjoy it. But they get a little too jokey in certain parts, and those jokes don't quite land maybe the way that they wanted them to. That's been kind of general every time I look through and kind of see. That's been pretty much what I've gathered. It is not. So the early tracking for this film, have you seen
Yeah.
the early tracking for it?
Yep. Have you
Uh,
seen? Do you know who Anatoly is?
I do.
The powerlifter guy who does all those
Yes.
videos and stuff.
Yes.
Did you see the He-Man one that he did?
I have not. I
It's
have
pretty good.
not.
It's pretty funny.
So the projections for Masters of the Universe are projecting between 25 to 35 million opening weekend. Okay?
No.
That's not good.
No.
Projections for Scary Movie 6 are around 47 47 plus million, and that's pre-ticket sales. So you can see that Scary Movie 6 is actually, and I know I'm not showing it, but I'm just kind of looking it up. Is that the tracking for a movie like Scary Movie 6 is looking at 43 to 53 million domestic, and Motu is not bringing in those kind of figures. So I'm a bit worried. About
this is
Masters of the Universe.
This was my biggest concern from the beginning: is how big is the Motu fan base?
Yeah, man.
Are you going to come out to see it? How many of them have seen free screenings of it? Is this going to go the way of Joss Whedon's Serenity, Firefly TV show, where they had so many screenings beforehand that none of the fans came out to support it? Yeah, it was well received, but is it going to turn into box office numbers? I think we're going to like this movie. I think that the people who are going to want to watch it are going to watch it. Some people are going to wait for it, whatever. It's going to be a decent movie, but I don't know now if it's going to make the box office that I was thinking it would.
I don't think it's going to, and that's a shame.
I mean,
I think we all, have hope and have had hope for it to really do well. So maybe we could get another, and a sequel. It's something probably near and dear to a lot of guys like us. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think that is such a niche fan base that unless the movie just absolutely nails it in every facet, then it's going to be difficult to bring in the numbers, and those are not very good opening projections.
So it's the same problem G.I. Joe has and many of these other properties have, is that you have to hit the nostalgia fan base positively, but you have to also be able to market it to the worldwide audience,
right.
The broader audience. And how do you do that? And, Hollywood has failed at marketing to the mass appeal audience as of late. In the superhero blockbuster type of films, if you go to Project Hail Mary or some of these other ones, and they're doing great. But and in fact, if we talk about box office, you've got 2 YouTube movies that are kicking the shit out of Mandalorian and Grogu. So.
Well, and that's true, and they're getting a lot of headlines. YouTubers that are putting out films with a $1 million budget or less that are doing huge numbers, and so maybe we'll see that become a trend, which how these things go, it probably will, and there's going to be some bad ones, there's going to be some good ones, there's going to be some in between ones. I think the best review that I saw was today, and it was it was on YouTube, and it was Jeremy Johns, and I will tell you guys. I'll even I don't even care. Like, I will link it. I say after we're done here, go and check out his review. I'm going to put the link to the review right here. I recommend you guys watch it because he is honest, and I think that his review pretty much is spot on for what I believe most of us are going to feel about this movie, is that we're going to go see it. And I think all the points he kind of hits upon is probably about how most of us are going to feel about it, because we don't get free tickets. We don't get goodie bags. We don't get the free popcorn buckets. So all these reviews that you're going to see about going to the premiere, these are from people that got free stuff to go to the movie. And so you have to be careful with those reviews, because they'll tell you, oh, it was a triumph, it was wonderful, and it's, they're getting paid basically to say that.
Pretty much.
You just have to be careful. But Jeremy Johns, I think he does very clear, concise, and very quick reviews. Easy watch. Check out his review. I think you guys will dig it, and it'll probably give you what you're looking for with no spoilers. There's no spoilers, so you have to worry about that. But it's unfortunate. It just tracking wise, man,
it doesn't look great.
It does look good. So let's get to another story. Okay, go ahead.
I just excuse me for just a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Absolutely. Well, in that case, I guess I'm gonna sing to you guys. Doobie doobie doo, doobie doobie doo, doobie doo. Anyway, uh, yeah. Look, I think Motu is a great property, but it just doesn't have enough fans to really pull in like a huge viewership. That's just my opinion. I just don't know how else to say it. And I know a lot of people might get mad at that. They might get upset about that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I think we'd be fooling ourselves to think that the fan base is so humongous that it's going to make, 400 million dollars at the box office. And if pre-sales are around 25 million, that's not good. And the production budget alone, we can look it up and see for the Motu movie. Production budget is looking around 170 to 200 million dollars. I don't think this is going to end well, unfortunately. But I've heard Jared Leto's performance is absolutely the best thing about the movie. And I think the humor is the one thing most people are going to have the biggest problem with, is that it's not going to land. And I was hoping they wouldn't do a lot of humor with this. Now, obviously, I haven't seen it yet, so I'll definitely be able to tell you guys personally. But from everything I've seen, I was really hoping they would stay away from trying to inject too much humor into it, and give it some stakes, and actually give the film a bit more than campy, goofy. And honestly, I just wish this movie didn't take place on Earth. I really wish they didn't go there. And I think it's an easy thing to do, but I really wish they didn't go there. And I wish that this movie took place on Eternia, the entire movie. I think you could tell that tale without having to go to Earth and all that. I just wish they stayed away from that aspect.
Well,
personally,
from every aspect I've heard, it's only like less than 10 minutes on Earth.
I don't know
But
about
that's what Robert Meyer Burnett said.
that. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Said if you want it to take place in Eternia, that's where it mostly takes place.
Well, I just
you've got
don't
this opening
know.
part. But
I'm just saying, like, as far as I don't even want to go there. Like, I don't even want to go there. I don't want to bring it. I want to be taken away from Earth. I don't want to be brought to Earth. I want to be taken away from Earth.
We'll see when you watch it, because it's about pulling people into the world. You have to have reference and frames, and that's how you bring in new people. But I understand that most of the people going to see it aren't new people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're not. I'm sorry, friend, but you're not getting many people that don't know anything about this property. It's going to be far and few between. I mean, that's just the reality of it, right?
Sure. Yep.
Clint says, are those projections showing the Hawaii bumps we see during toy crowd funds? What? Hang on. I got to say, what?
Now, the only bumps that happen in crowdfunding is in the last 48 hours.
Okay. I was wondering, because I'm like, what?
I don't know what he means by Hawaii bumps, because Hawaiians, they don't get shit because they have to pay extra for shipping on everything. So,
yeah, sure. Yeah, and Garaf says Earth parts are actually kind of funny and short, and the shorter the better, in my opinion. I know that they make some, the jokes about masculinity and all that. I don't think it takes over the film by any means, that's for sure. But clearance toys incoming. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think so, but I still want to see it. I hope it's good. I hope people enjoy going to see it. I just don't know that it's going to get a lot of action after opening weekend. And it's got a tough slate ahead of it. I mean, it's really got a tough slate.
Yeah.
If we look at the upcoming, films coming into as far as June is concerned, I mean, you've got what I just mentioned. You got Toy Story coming up here. You got Masters of the Universe, Scary Movie, same day. You've got Paul Rudd with Power Ballad. I don't think that's going to draw a ton of people in. But then, you've got let's see here, Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg, sci-fi.
Supposed to be
movie.
Close Encounters Part 2.
Right, June 12th, and then
Juneteenth. What?
Right. And they have Toy Story 5, June 19th.
That's going to be a big blockbuster movie, so we'll see.
Supergirl, Garaf's favorite, is coming out on June 26th. So I mean, and then Minions and Monsters comes out July 1st. So Masters Universe is going to have a very difficult time at the box office. I mean, it just is. Again, if it didn't knock it out of the park, bringing in maybe some people that aren't familiar, but
Yeah.
word of mouth, and they're like, "Oh, we got to go see it," then it is going to struggle, and that's unfortunate. But
Yep.
yeah, it's got a lot of competition coming up ahead of time. Okay, want to get into this story before we get out of here because we would be remiss if we did not talk about this news today. And I know some of you guys were mentioning it earlier, so let's bring it up. All right, you guys. Now we know that now this is from the Full Force podcast, but we know this is on BMAX Instagram. Mission report as we head into Yojo June. I'm just going to say it now because I won't address it on any of the fan streams. There is no G.I. Joe HasLab planned for 2026. My hope is that by sharing this, the conversation in the live chat can be about the products and reveals happening each week. I will address the decision more during our panel at San Diego Comic-Con. We have pre-orders and render reveals every week. There's even a surprise render reveal tomorrow, June 3rd, which also has a pre-order, right, going up if I'm not mistaken, for something that hasn't been named revealed yet. And then the Cobra Commander will pre-order tomorrow. And if it wasn't clear, the crown is removable. And of course, that will be a big deal to a lot of people that want the hooded Coco without the crown. It is a fan channel exclusive and not made to order so that there was as much access to the item as possible. I like that. When it sells out, I'm already working on a contingency plan for a second production run. Once the demand is there, we will produce more. If we use the made-to-order model for this, you'd all have to wait another year for this figure. By doing it this way, the first production run, which I planned a higher production amount on, will be in your hands later this year. I'm as excited for you all to get this as you are to have it. So I'll have an incredible Yojo June, yada, 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 right? Incredible reveals, 14 pre-orders in total across 4 weeks. And so there you go. There's no HasLab for this year. I know a lot of people are super, super pissed off about that.
I don't know. From everything that I've seen from most people, they're like, phew.
Well, and I got to be honest with you, I feel that way personally myself.
Yeah.
I will say that just because, hey man,
And,
it's with the Arctic Hiss, and
well,
some other
so
shit, man. It's a lot. It can be.
it
A lot.
is. It is, and to a degree, I think they've been trying to listen to feedback as much as possible. They had so many shipping problems 2 years ago that they tried to fix that and more distribute it this past year, and they did an okay job with it. You still had the third and fourth quarter dump of a lot of stuff, a lot of expensive stuff. So this year they're trying to spread it out a little bit more. We'll see if that actually plays out the way that they want it to.
Right.
And that just means that the Thunder Machine is going to be a made to order. If it's not a made to order, then it's going to be $109 vehicle, and Tony and Lenny was right, and it would go straight to retail. But I don't see that happening for the Thunder Machine. I would imagine it'd be made to order.
Yeah, and that's I'm fine with that. I mean, as far as the line being on life support, I mean, obviously, look, everybody's kind of freaking out. Everybody's left and all that kind of stuff. Well, it is a natural evolution of business. It does happen. People do get promoted. People do leave companies. People move on. I'm not going to speculate whether the thing is crashing or not and the ceiling is falling.
Look, Hasbro's moving this year, and they're going to lose probably another 100 employees before they move, which was all part of the plan to whittle themselves down to 200 employees to move the headquarters. But I mean, the talent that you're losing, can you actually replace it or not? We shall see. But this is all strategic for Hasbro. And what's unfortunate about the whole thing is it's corporate. It's just they're corporate decisions, and they're not making good corporate decisions. I don't think. But they get certain tax breaks for moving to Boston, but they got to pay higher taxes on everything else. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Now, as far as all brands, look, I have not looked into that. As far as no HasLabs for Star Wars or Transformers,
No,
I think it's just GI Joe because we're in
yeah,
GI Yojo June.
yep,
So, that news specifically about that. Now, if that changes, obviously you guys, I'm sure you will hear it, read about it. I don't think
yep.
that's been the
If
case with anything else.
if it is across all brands, then it is solely a function of the move.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, 610, Yo, Joe Daddy, what's going
What's
on?
up?
Lick that like. And he says, plus, I've said all I can about this HasLab not coming, about the leaks until tomorrow. Y'all have a great show. Well, I appreciate it. We're actually kind of wrapping it up, my friend. G.I. Jetman says, I'm thinking about canceling my Arctic Kiss. I wasn't really into it anyway. Look, I don't think there's anything wrong with going ahead and maybe pre-ordering something or maybe wanting to, and then when you decide down the line, hey, I don't want it. At least that was a make to order, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. If you don't want it, that's fine.
Somebody else will.
Somebody else will, but I can fully understand GI Jetman that sentiment. Is that maybe the more and more you look at it, you say, hey, I don't really need it. Maybe you don't have the space. But in the moment, I think we're all somewhat, guilty. We're all guilty of that. Got to get it, got to have it. Oh yeah. And then as you sit back, you start reviewing, you start looking and going, do I really like this, or did I get caught up in the pre-order? Did I get caught up in the FOMO or whatever? Did I? And so yeah. And I think a lot of us at this point, after the line has been around for a few years, and we've got a lot of figures and we've got a lot of stuff. I think a lot of us are at that point of, really picking and choosing and deciding, like, do I really need this? Can I get this down the line at a reasonable price? And I think a lot of us feel that way.
Yep.
I know I do. I still look, my favorite character. I never did get retro carded Flint. I still don't have it. I actually got the retro carded Cover Girl before I got retro carded Flint, but I love that figure.
I was gonna say, I wish you told me you wanted it because I saw them all over the Walmart.
Oh yeah, well, and it's here too. It's just full price. It's gonna be. I mean, I'll wait till maybe Joe Fest. Maybe I'll see somebody's got one for $18 or something.
I mean, I still like this one better.
Yeah, no, I feel you, and I think a lot of people feel that way too. And as Clint says, they'll probably just repaint some vehicles going forward. I mean, I think we're going to get some repaints for sure, some reuse. I mean, we always do. It's just business as usual. That's not unusual, right? And Bobby Wolf says last year it was Yojo, every other brand but GI Joe. Last year was a huge disappointment. I agree with you.
So do you 100%? Do you see what they did this year? Is they pre-announced all the dates for the G.I. Joe classified Yojo June broadcasts, and they said these are the dates we're doing them on because of the backlash last year. Is that there were two dates that we were expecting live streams and we didn't get them, and we all thought it was because of the policeman or whatever, right?
Yes, because that did happen. 100% that did happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they listened. At least they listened to that, and they said we're going to do these shows on these dates, and this is what we're doing. Right. And as they roll stuff out, we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I mean they've planned better this year, I think, except for the leaks that people are going to start revealing soon because they're part of Chris McLeod's Patreon, and they've seen them all, and now they're going to spill the beans.
Yep. It's. I mean, look. It is what it is. I mean, we knew a lot of this stuff was coming, and it's been bandied about for a long time. Everybody's been wanting it. Everybody's been talking about it. You know what I mean? Like it's there you go. So
this got leaked today, and it got leaked, and Chris McLeod immediately on his podcast, on the first 2 minutes of his podcast this evening, said that it was Shark News who posted it, and then a few minutes later, Chris McLeod posted it, and then everybody picked it up, right? So that just proves that Tariq is a part of Chris McLeod's Patreon,
right?
And Chris McLeod gets all this stuff months and months in advance, and he is told by Hasbro, look, you can't leak this, but if somebody else leaks it, you can then talk about it. That's the agreement he has with Hasbro. That's how he gets his access. So Shark News decides, hey, they're going to throw it out there and everybody's going to talk about it. Okay. And then Chris is like, okay, now I can post the pictures.
So what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Are you good with this or no?
No, I don't think that was it at all. I really do think that Shark Tariq is a part of Chris McLeod's Patreon,
sure,
and he talks to his Patreon people differently than he talks to everybody else, because
that makes sense. That makes
because
sense,
you, especially the top tier ones, because they're paying a premium, and most of those people are like, hey, we just want to know. We're not going to go talk about it. Right. But some people are like, I'm going to take advantage of this. It's, one day before it comes out, so I'm going to talk about it, and they throw it out there, and then that allows Chris to confirm it all. Right. So he throws out all that stuff on how figures will never happen. No, that is not exactly how he put it.
Not quite. Look.
Now he
changed over time.
Right.
It changed over time. And a lot of people did that.
He acknowledges those changes and those shifts, but he did also state emphatically, well, as emphatically as you can for an unknown, right?
Right.
That the Thunder Machine was the HasLab, but he didn't actually say the Thunder Machine is the HasLab. He said we're getting the Thunder Machine this year.
And that
we're gonna be able to, pre-order it this year, right? So what it turns out is it looks like it's going to be a made-to-order that will be done,
which I think is
this year.
Perfect. I think that's just fine. Yeah. It's not big enough to be a damn HasLab.
It's not, and everybody agreed that it wasn't, and so it should be a made-to-order if it's outside their $109 new price range for the vehicles.
So if I'm not mistaken, doesn't this go on pre-order tomorrow, is Clint saying? I thought this was the one that does go up.
That is the discussion. That is what everybody is pretty much saying. That's what's happening tomorrow. This goes for pre-order, and there's going to be a reveal of something that's unknown to this point. I don't know if that's true, but I will tell you this, unknown to most.
And what I wanted to ask you also, because, do you like this?
You know what? For the people that haven't been invested and gone out and looked at other sources for things and whatever, I think this is great.
I'm good with it. I like the throne. I'm good with the crown being removable. I'm glad that's a thing, right?
Yeah,
I'm good with it.
The throne looks good. There's a lot of reuse in accessories, obviously. There's actually some reuse in some of the parts for him as well. But they did some new sculpts on the torso. They did the crown, the hood, the shoulder pauldrons. The cape is Snake Supreme, Cobra Commanders. The boots are Mindbender boots.
Right.
The staff is Serpentors. The pistol is the Cobra Officers. The globe is the HasLab Mickey Mouse Cobra Commanders globe with Snake.
Look, I don't know what else that people would want per se.
I don't know either.
You're gonna get reuse, of course, but I think that overall, what else could you do to differentiate this other than it just having the damn hooded? It's the hood. That's all it is. Without you having to go through someone to get a 3D printed custom hood and buy it and all that shit. It's from them.
Or the Fresh Monkey Fiction one that right. About, right?
But you know what I mean. Like it is it, and you're getting it, and therefore we can put to bed this whole thing about the hood and all that shit, and people can stop talking about it.
I've seen some really dumbass comments, because it's the freaking internet out there, saying this is going to devalue the Fresh Monkey Fiction Operation Monster Force spy or whatever that figure's called. I don't know.
Yeah.
That everybody was wanting just for the hooded thing, and I go, that's a great suited body. That's a great agent that that you could use him as an FBI agent. You could use him as a background guy, whatever. Sure. It's a good figure in its own right. So no, that's not what's happening there. If you want to use that hood for him or somebody else, that's fine. Was it made for that? okay, but you can talk to Bill, and Bill knew about this forever ago,
Right.
so it wasn't exactly a surprise to them.
Sabir, how
Um,
you doing, man?
what's up?
Says the design team will be the final five Cylons we've been waiting for 3 seasons to reveal.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely, right.
yeah.
This is a good offering, and the
Yeah.
way that they're bringing it out, I think is perfect.
Love the
And
box.
if
I'm good
if
with
you
the box.
if
It's
you want
great.
to get it, you'll be able to get it. I
Yeah.
guarantee you.
Yeah.
And aesthetically speaking, I mean, he's got a certain look to him, and it's kind of cool.
I do love the cutout on the eyes. I'm digging. I'm good with that style, the way that looks. I love the pauldrons. I'm a fan of that kind of style of
Yeah.
military look.
The only thing
Uh,
is the person that put it together wrong, and the arm didn't go through the ropes.
I
But
yes, and I did see a post earlier that I think you might. Did you send that to me?
oh, I don't
There's
know.
a post I saw earlier that shows you how to take it off and like do
Oh
everything that you need to
no,
do for it.
I didn't see that post, so
Yeah,
that wasn't me.
so that was a post that I saw. And it's sort of like this is what you need to do it properly. Blah 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 blah. So
Yeah,
you
you just
guys
pop
will
that
find that
bicep off, right?
100%. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's just showing people who may not know.
yeah.
Quinn next. I'm good with Quinn. I'm good with.
Man,
There's a lot
Quinn,
of characters I'd love to
they
have. Of course,
absolutely
Doctor Venom.
positively need to do a Quinn Venom 2-pack, right? I mean, come on, you got to do a Quinn Venom 2-pack so you can have the moment.
Right. I'd say we're so far past that at this point, right? You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Graph, yeah, you're not entirely wrong about that either, because they realize they've got to keep going, and they've got to let go of some of the hangups that they've had
Right.
from Lorenzo Di Bonaventura nonsense that doesn't make any coherent sense.
um
So
so Sabir's asking, dumb question. What exactly was the leak?
no, okay, so the leak was Hooded Cobra Commander and all the pictures from it.
Yeah.
So that was not supposed to come out till tomorrow
Yeah.
from Hasbro, when Hasbro talks about it. So Hasbro wanted to be the ones to talk about it, and now Shark News put it out there, and then Chris McLeod confirmed it, and then boom, it's everywhere, and that's why we have all these images.
And
That was
that's how
not
that
supposed to
goes.
come out until
Right.
tomorrow.
But that's how this game is played, y'all. You
Yep,
know that. I
yep.
mean, that is literally it. That is how this game is played,
You can look on my
and
pinned
it will
photos. I've got
always be that way.
Hooded Cobra Commander with his Shadow Guard right next to him as one of my pinned pictures.
Bobby Wold says they need to make a custom Cobra Taylor that comes with a few accessories like Mindbender boots and a caption on the box. Cobra doesn't give me enough material to work with. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, look, that will satiate the fans. Look, over 4 weeks, how many pre-orders did he say?
Yeah.
14 or something like that, or whatever, over
Well,
4 weeks, and
yeah,
so hopefully that will get the Joe fans
yeah,
riled up
and
and
all
going.
those people that were saying you guys said it would never come, is like, that's not what any of us ever said.
I
We
think I
said
think
that currently under the administration they're being held within restrictions placed on them by Lorenzo Di Bonaventura that the board
right.
members agreed with, and they finally decided, wait a minute, we released Baron Zemo, we released these stormtrooper figures, these snowtrooper figures. Okay, those are worse than this, so let's go ahead and do this one.
And look, were there people that probably said that's never going to happen? Sure, I'm sure there were, right? And some people might hyperbolic, being using hyperbole and just to do it. Some people may truly have believed that.
Yeah,
And I think most of us probably thought, okay, this line, they've done it through the years. At some point in time, I'm sure they're going to get to it, right? It's just a matter
yeah,
of time.
yeah.
And so most people probably held that opinion. But yeah, I'm sure there were some people who were like, it's never going to happen. And, that's in the moment, and that's, things happening. Now, quickly,
Drew
Stanley,
Stanley, yeah, because he's a part of Chris McLeod's Patreon for the full
yeah,
force at the top tier, where Chris tells those Patreons a lot of the stuff that he gets from Hasbro goes there. And if he decides to plug that link, well, then he's going to lose a lot of Patreon subscribers. But only a few of them have big mouths. And Shark
right.
wanted to be the one to break the news to say, hey, I'm relevant here. right? Because he's always trying to scam whatever. So most likely that's the case. Unless he has a true insider himself, which I seriously doubt based off of his personality and the way he does things.
Yeah.
And the fact that he couldn't get Lenny to come on a show, and he lambasted Punk with Toys because he got Lenny to come on Thursday with a
Oh, and
friend.
that all that shit and copyright bullshit. I mean, it's just it's a fucking rabbit hole that I damn sure really don't want to go down right now. That's for sure. And then Quinn, I'd love that big reveal. Look, who knows? And if somebody catches wind of it or decides that they're going to tell some people within their Patreon, and then that's going to come out, somebody's going to share that. We know there's going to be leaks. It's unavoidable in today's world, right?
Yeah.
There's hardly any surprises anymore. It's just
Right.
a damn shame.
Well,
it really is.
If you're looking for them or you want to look for them, you can find them.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no way to keep information away from everybody. If
No.
two people know, then the information is going to get out somewhere.
Absolutely. So
if three people know, it's going to get out super fast.
I want to give a quick story before we get out of here about this guy right here. Okay. Ninja Forces Artan. So, look, like a lot of you, I got the thing that said back ordered, right? I had ordered this figure from Target. I got the thing that said, back ordered, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. It'll come. If it gets canceled, it gets canceled. I don't fucking know, right? It is what it is. Well, so the other morning, I get a text from 3-Star Draw, and he says, hey, man, so I picked you up, Ninja Forces Artan, and he's at the Target by your house. And you just go by there and pick him up on your way to work. Okay, so this was Sunday morning. And so I'm like, oh, well, that's cool, man. I'm like, you have to do that. Because, I mean, he is on order. But, yeah, he's back ordered. But so I'm like, okay, cool. If I get it in my hand, I'll just cancel the other one, right? So I'll just go get it, cancel it. But I want to make sure I have it in hand, right? Before I do anything like that, I want to make sure I cancel it. So so I get up a little extra early. I go by Target. He tells me, he says, all right, so here's the deal. I bought it online, and then I went and picked it up, and I left yours there. I had a guy put it in a bag, put your name on it, and he set it back where the car pickups are. So when people come to get their car, not the one desk where you do returns and that stuff, the car pickup desk. Okay, cool. So I drive up there, walk into the first counter on the left or whatever, they're the main counter, customer service. And I walk up and I'm like, hey, man, I'm here to pick up something my cousin bought. He left it for me. It's got my name on it. I had the UPC code, all the stuff he used to buy it, right? I think you just scan it, whatever. So we look up the order, the number by his name, first and last name. They kept misspelling his name as I'm spelling the name to the kid 4 fucking times. I'm giving him the last name, and this kid keeps putting a J over, and I'm like, no, it's this, and he keeps misspelling it in real time. Okay, now both these kids are probably like 17 years old, and I'm like, no. He's got the little handheld. I'm like, no, that's not how. No, it's this. And there's this lady who's waiting on something at customer service, and she looks over like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yes, what is happening? So finally, I have to type it in myself because for some reason, he can't spell it correctly. Even though I'm spelling it for him, he gives me the thing, and I type it in. They can't find it. Can't find the order. And I'm like, well, he bought it. I'm like, he just bought it. He came and picked one up. And he's like, well, we can't find an order. We can't find it at all. So then they're like, well, let's go look in the back. So they go look in the back where that first part when you walk in the front doors, right? Returns and stuff. They can't find it anywhere. No bag, no note on it with my name, nothing. They can't find his order, even though he already bought it and came and picked one up. So I'm like, look, I got to get to work. I said, now he said it would be back by the car pickups. And they said, well, no, it would be up here. I was like, are you sure? They said, no, it would be up here, but we can't find it. Sometimes it takes a couple hours to pick those orders. I'm like, yeah, but they already picked it. He already got it. So I said, look, I'll come back after work. I leave. I go to work. I come back after work. I stop by. I walk in, go up to the counter again. Same thing happens. Well, we can't find it. I said, it's in one bag. It's one item. It has my name on it. my cousin did a toy hunt video, and he actually videoed the guy doing the process of putting it in the bag, putting my name on the thing. So I've got him on the phone. They can't find it anywhere. Can't find his order, nothing. He's on the phone with me. He's explaining the whole process. They grab a manager. Manager walks with me. He goes, I'm going to the car thing, to the car pickup. So let me go look. Go to the car pickup. I'm standing there waiting on the guy to come out from the back. It's like set 8 minutes, 9 minutes. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. He comes back out empty-handed. Now, it's been purchased already, right? And one's been picked up. But it's a strange request to leave something there for someone to pick up when there's no receipt attached to it. There's no official anything. It's just got a receipt paper with a Sharpie with my name on it, right? And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. He said, well, look, I'm going to try to get a hold of the kid that was working earlier that helped out. So he's texting him. He can't get a response. I'm walking around Target waiting on this guy to find me. He never finds me. I have to go find him. So finally, I walk back up. He says, man, I don't know what to tell you. He said, as soon as I get a hold of this guy, he said, I will call you and let you know what's your number, what's your email. So I go home. A few hours go by, nothing. And I'm like, and you know, we've heard the stories of employees who know nothing about some of this stuff, looking it up really quickly and then deciding like, oh, this is hard to get, or this is something that I'll just flip it right on eBay. And so in my mind, I'm going, you got to be kidding me. Like, what is going on? Well, guy calls me. He calls me and he says, hey, man, I got a hold of the employee, and he told me where he put it. Evidently, he put it where no one would find it. Why he did that, I don't know. So the manager grabbed it. He said, I'm putting it in my desk. I'm locking it in my desk, and I work from 10 to 6 tomorrow. You can come pick it up. I said, all right, I'll tell you what. I'll come by in the afternoon. So I go by in the afternoon. I pick it up. All good, right? All good. Got it in hand. Here it is. Well, guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, I have an extra Zartan to sell or to somebody because I'd already gotten charged by Target. By the time I went to pick up the one that was bought for me by my cousin, I'd already been charged by Target. No back order. Shipping came in 1 day or 2 days. I got it today. So I have an extra one in a Target box. I have this one in my hand.
Hey, you could,
and I
you
have
could
to
just
cash out my cousin for the cost of 2 for the second one. So I got 2 of them, but I needed just 1. So now
hey, you could just send it to me. You know,
shit. Well, and that's the thing, folks. Because the funny thing is you know, Target charges you shipping. So this not this Zartan, but the one in the box, he was almost $40, right? This one is the regular price that I have to cash out my cousin for the cost of him picking me up, the Zartan, a day before I got charged and shipped for the other one. So look, his heart was in the right
moral
place.
of the story is don't pre-order from Target because you're likely to find it on the shelves sooner than your pre-order gets filled.
You're so right. And what really makes me mad is literally I was like, as soon that morning when I went to go get it the first time, as soon as I get it in hand, I'm going to cancel my order immediately. Well, the funny part is my cousin told me when I went back, you know, after work to get it, I'm on the phone with him. He says, well, you're probably not going to be able to cancel the other one because mine's been processed too. And I was like, well, fuck me. So I got 2 Ninja Force Zartans. So if any of you guys are having trouble finding him, or Matthew, if you don't want him or you hadn't found it or whatever, I do have an extra. Jesus Christ. I like him. I don't fucking like him that much. Okay? Like,
yeah.
You know, come on. So that's my Ninja Force Zartan story. I'm sticking to it. What a shit show. Yeah, I mean, good God. Well, of course, I will find someone at Joe Fest, Stanley, but, you know, just the whole thing about it. So anyway, I'll figure out what to do with Ninja Force Zartan. If you guys can get me to 1,000 subscribers, I'm at about 227 right now. If you guys get me to 1,000 subscribers by Joe Fest, I'll do a giveaway.
There we go.
Anyway, that's all I got for tonight. Matthew, anything for you to finish the night up as we're gonna get out of here?
No, man, had a great time. There's lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Box office news as Mandalorian Grogu gets buried by YouTubers. But no, I'm having fun. I'm taking photos and posting. I posted some DFW posts on my Instagram recently, and then just more action figure stuff the rest of the week. So check it out.
Yes, I know with your pickups and stuff, you had a great time at DFW. Love to hear that. And so yeah, man, no matter what convention you go to, have a good time and don't worry about what anybody else says. That's what I say. Have fun doing what you
Have
do.
fun.
Yep, that's it. That's what it's all about. Okay, well, we'll be back next Tuesday night, and we will definitely dive into movie talk. If there's any crazy G.I. Joe news, we may skim on that just a little bit, but we kind of went all in on figures tonight and toy news. But I know we don't normally do that, but I'd say it's okay for us every now and then, right? But
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. No, I think it's great. Little break. But next week, yeah, we'll talk about Motu, get a review for you guys, and yeah. So that's about it. As far as Pedro making a video doing his hair like a chick off The Acolyte, I have no idea. But look, you guys have a great night. I will be doing a Sunday night stream for sure, and then next Tuesday. So that's it. Go check out. I think 3-Star Draw and Krusty Old Crow are doing a stream tomorrow night. I think they're back on the Backyard Battlefield, which is great. So y'all go check that out tomorrow, and I'll probably see y'all in the chat somewhere in there. All right, you guys, have a great night. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it, as always, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.